a narrow path that we have to stay on all the way until the end. Like the promise hasn't been fulfilled for the children of the promise yet. When the children of the promise is in their land and there's no more war on the earth, then that's when you know you've been saved. That's when you know salvation. Salvation means to be saved out of a trap. That trap is still being set by the devil. Just like how the elder was trying to explain to you, that trap is still being set. So there's no, you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. You can get some kind of deadly disease tomorrow. There's so many things that can happen to you because it's still corruption on the earth, and we need salvation from that. Now, we hope for salvation by believing in the truth, in the word of Yahweh Shai. So we hope for salvation. That's funny because that's basically what this lesson is going into with the power of believing. We started the camera yet? Yeah. All right. So basically,
hey, that was a good conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we're going to go into, to the power of believing, because even though we come out here and teach week in and week out, we do videos and put them on the internet and everything like that. Like the elder always says, a wise man desires a listening ear.
Right.
We still want to see the power in what we're teaching. The power in what we're teaching comes through prophecies and comes through people that believe. Now, when we have, and it comes through people that don't believe and scoff against us, because there has to be contention in order for us to know. Okay, now we know we're on the righteous path, because that contention, there's holes in the foundation of that contention where people come up here and try to contest against us, and we can pick right through it. But our foundation is solid. They can't pick through it, so that's why they try to attack our character and try to attack what we believe in, and try to falsify the information that we have. But we know it's true. There's no other way to worship the Father. It's only in the Spirit and in truth. Right. So to say that we're saved now, and when there's destruction coming along the way, is really an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense, because there's so many things that can happen to us right now.
Yeah, but that's just a sin.
Our people are still getting gunned down on the streets.
That's just. Wait, say that again.
Our people are still getting gunned down on the streets.
That's because that's men though. That's not because God did it.
All right, so we need salvation. We still need salvation for man.
Those certain men that are in sin that
right.
Are
So when those men are taken out of the way and put in their proper place, right, and judgment happens to them, that's when salvation happens. There's no more terror able to come towards us. That's salvation.
And also, Israel will not fear on either side or something.
Right. Go ahead.
And also, our people getting gunned down the streets and getting messed over like that. That's part of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. The Lord said will befall our people for being disobedient. So these things are happening. These things do happen because of disobedience. If your father says, "Hey, do not do this," and you do opposite of what he says to do, and he punishes you, guess what? He told you what would happen if you do that. So the same thing is happening to our people. That's why a lot of things are happening. Our fathers not being in the home, and mothers dogging their babies out of so many other things. But these are all part of the curses. That's how you know that. That's how you know the children of Israel. But the Lord said that the curses will follow his people no matter where we go, no matter what we look like. Those curses will follow us.
All right, so if I die today, what good news do you have for me today?
The good news is what we're telling you now.
Which is what? It's like, what's the good news?
I'll tell you what, you die today. Good news.
You know what I'm saying? You learned the truth.
So am I saved? Like, so is there a heaven and hell, or is that like something?
You're in hell right now.
Okay.
You're in hell.
Just know that it's a beautiful thing to know that we have a Savior on the throne. That he still exists, and that he didn't die for the whole world. That he did die for us, because we're the ones that need salvation.
He didn't die for the whole world?
He didn't die for the whole earth.
Then what's the...
Surprise!
We was dealing with that, right?
Right, so he didn't die for every single one, for the sinner and like the unbeliever and the believer? No. He didn't die for them. He just shows, he's like, okay, because you guys believe, and you guys are good or whatever, you guys believe in me, I only died for you. That's not the good news, though.
Yeah, he only died for Israel.
So no, because let's say that I came up, like a really bad child or whatever, like, and I'm like, you know what, but then I repent and I'm like, okay, well, never mind, like, I'm good now, like, I'm safe, I'm following you, Lord.
Right.
So he didn't die for me?
What if these nations, were these nations ever righteous?
Say what?
What if they, this is the thing, what does the word repentance mean? It means to turn back to, right? So Israel turned away from the laws, so they're the ones that need the what?
Salvation.
No. What does the word repent mean? To turn back.
Right.
Turn back. So if these people were given the laws, Psalms 147 and 19, they were given the laws to keep with Moses, not the whole world. He gave them to Moses, and Moses gave them to the Israelites.
No, but that's why Jesus came in the New Testament. Like, okay, the Gentiles for the uncircumcision and for the circumcised, right?
I'm with you.
Okay.
One step at a time, real quick.
Okay.
So these people, right, they're the ones that set up to return back to those laws. But they walked away from those laws. These people were never given the laws, so they have nothing to return back to. It was never there. Make sense? So these are the people that got to return back to it, repent, through Yahushua, through the Messiah, starting with the first fruits, not all Israel. Just like during the times of Noah, the Lord is selective, right? So now now let's deal with the other point you said. Let's keep walking real quick, and I'm gonna move back. The Jews and Gentiles.
Yeah.
Gentile just means what? Foreigner? Foreigner. So once somebody, an Israelite, starts keeping the customs of Ham or the Africans, they become a Gentile. Make sense? So those Gentiles that Paul was going to teach were Israelite Gentiles, scattered. That's it. So you got two forms of Gentile. You got the natural foreigner, and you got the Israelite, spiritually dead. Remember we're talking about that? Foreigner. So it's not for the world, arataza, or oikumeni, which means the whole earth in the Greek. Oikumeni, that's the word you're talking about. But John 3:16, the word world right there, he died for the whole world. That word is cosmos. Right? Just like a cosmos of stars. You know, a cosmos
But
means...
it's still the world, right? That's everything.
No, just like you just say Mark.
All that's right, all the creation.
Just like you can say the word Mark. You with me? You can say the word Mark. A person named Mark. Or I can shoot at a mark.
Yeah.
Or I can give you a mark in the hand.
Yeah.
Different marks.
Right.
But they all in English is the same.
Yeah, but
So-
it's how you use it.
It's how you use it, the context.
Right.
So the word world is different. Same in the English, but it's different context to it. That context in John 3:16 was talking about cosmos, which means an orderly arrangement of stars, not all the stars. He took a group of stars, 7 churches of Asia Minor, of Israelites, and through not all Israel, but a group of the stars.
See, that part, that I have never heard.
I'm telling you straight.
God so loved the world.
Yeah, you gotta break down
World,
words.
that's everything.
Now we're gonna show you through the scripture.
All right, give me that Matthew 15 and 24.
Now you're gonna follow up on it.
This is Matthew
with the
15
precept.
to 24.
Okay.
But he answered and said, I am
Start at 22.
22. This is a Matthew 15 to 22.
Now this was a heathen woman.
Okay.
No, this is well, no, she was an Israelite woman. Okay, right, an Israelite woman. But she was practicing heathen customs. But she showed through faith that Israel could be saved. Go ahead. Tanisha.
Matthew 15 to 22. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
She's talking to the Messiah himself, right? Asking for healing for her daughter. Go ahead.
But he answered, her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right, that's all he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right? Now, let's keep going. Let's get Acts 5 and 31.
What is it?
Acts 5 and 31.
Acts 5 and 31. Yeah, bring it up.
This is John 17 and 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but
You
for
said, whoa,
them.
whoa. Did you catch that? Read it again.
Say that again. Sorry.
This is John chapter 17, verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
Those are his people.
Yeah,
We're talking
but
about
he
his.
had
Whoa. Because we're gonna get back to the Jews and the Gentiles,
Yeah,
right? The
right.
circumcision and the uncircumcision,
Right,
right?
right.
He prayed not for the world. He prayed for them, the one that they were given. Not only was it was a select few, because not even all of Israel is gonna get salvation, right? And they're not gonna get delivered. You see what I'm saying? It's only Israel. It's only the elect of Israel. That's the main focus. The main focus. Now we're gonna get into the Jews and Gentiles in a second, right? Just watch for this. All right, Acts 5 and 31.
It's Acts 5 and 31. Him have Yahweh exalted with his right hand.
5 and 29.
This is Acts 5 and 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey Yahweh rather than men.
Now this is the wicked Sanhedrin council that he was talking to. All right, that would try to tell them not to teach in the name of Yahweh Shai. All right, go ahead.
The God of our fathers raised up Yahweh Shai, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Right.
Him have Yahweh exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
For Israel and forgiveness of sin. That's all it's about. All right. So now there was confusion with the Jews and the Gentiles. That's why Paul said the mystery of the Gentiles, right? Because the Sanhedrin was saying there's no way they can come back because they're practicing heathen custom. When you look up the word Gentiles, it says Hellen, a Hellenist, meaning a paganistic Jew. So they were practicing Roman custom, just like we're going into churches. They're under the Nicene Creed, which was put together by Rome. They're still under those same, they're still in that Gentile state of mind, under that same covering of the Gentiles, because they're practicing paganism, right? Get it? Are you following? All right, keep reading that. That was it?
God. This verse 32. And we are his witness of these things, and so is also the Holy Spirit, whom Yahweh have given to them that obey him.
And it was meant for who to obey? The Israelites. So somebody get Ephesians 2 and 11. All right, so let's go into this Gentile thing. All right, so now before, I didn't know I was an Israelite. I was going to the churches. I felt crazy because I was in the church. I thought I was the wicked one in the church because I didn't agree with what they were teaching.
Okay, that's men you're not agreeing with.
Right. But I wasn't agreeing with that spirit in that building. That spirit that those men were bringing forth. Even though you see things acted out in the carnal realm, the spiritual value.
Yeah, but you can't like, okay, if you said you went in there, you felt like you were like
right, because I thought that was the way. I thought that was the way to heaven.
Bring everything out of you so you can wash, like cleanse you from your sins, and you receive.
Right, because I was in a Gentile state of mind and need cleansing. You're right. See what I'm saying? Let's get that Ephesians 2 and 11.
This is Ephesians 2 and 11, and it reads, "Wherefore remember that ye being in times past,
he's talking about Israel. Keep going.
Gentiles in the flesh,
who
are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision."
All right, so now the Sanhedrin were telling the Pharisees and Sadducees were telling Paul they cannot come into the fold because they haven't been circumcised. Not only physically but spiritually also, meaning they weren't keeping the laws. All right, so Paul was like, but the law of faith can bring them back in. Keep going.
In the flesh made by hands, that at that time ye were without Christ,
Yahweh
Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel.
They were alien from the commonwealth of Israel. So the Pharisees and Sadducees were saying they can only get there through the law. But Paul was like, the law is not made void because we have faith, because we couldn't make it through the law because we would have been in salvation. We would have never transgressed if we could have made it by the law. So we needed a way to get back to the Father. That's why Yahweh Shai had a deliverance. He had to be that doorway in order for us to get to the Father, because the wages of sin is death. Right. So he made that sacrifice of death to bring Israel back to the Father, because they were always his. Go ahead.
This is John 17 and 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou gave me, for they are thine. All are mine. All mine are thine, and thine are mine. And I am glorified in thee.
Right. He's glorified in you.
Yeah, at that point, God was saying, like, okay, like, I'm not going to be, like, for those who have, like you said, for those who have an ear,
who's going to have that ear, though?
Right.
Did he give that ear to the world?
The ones who are willing to let go, like, their old flesh, like, their old life, and follow God. That's what God is saying. That's what saying. That's what he's trying to say. Is like, okay,
is that what he's trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that's what God is saying.
So are you God?
No, I'm not. No, it's scripture.
Okay, that scripture did not say that. That's what I'm trying to.
It's only for those who are actually wanting to follow the way. Which
okay,
is the truth,
you're right.
The truth, the way.
Right.
So that's what that means.
Right. That's what that means. But it's predestined for those that want to follow the way to follow that way.
What do you mean predestined?
It's predestined, meaning you have to have it was put in you from the beginning to follow the Messiah to make it to the Father. Right. So, do you believe in the children of the promise? You said you got a precept.
Yeah, whatever you read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Romans 11 and 1. I say then, have Yahweh cast away his people? God forbid. Right. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham.
And you got to understand what Paul was saying right there, because the Pharisees and Sadducees were like, well, what do you mean? He's bringing in the first among the Gentiles.
Yeah, they call him a Roman.
Right, because he was a Roman. He's like, I'm an Israelite too. But they're able to come in through the sacrifice that Yahweh Shai made.
Right, and baptism.
But yeah, spiritual baptism. But they were saying the Pharisees and Sadducees were saying, no, they could only come in through the law. Right? So the law excommunicated them out, so they became broken off from that olive tree. They had to be grafted back in. Keep going.
God hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew.
Foreknew.
Wot ye not what the scripture saith to Elijah? How he maketh intercession to Yahweh against Israel, saying, oh, that's going to something else. They have killed the prophets.
All right, he made intercession through okay. So now
I got one for you.
yeah, okay. Somebody get Isaiah 11 and 10 on that.
Yep, last one. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse.
Boom. In that day. Now this is the Old Testament. Now if you read the teachings of Yahweh Shai, he referred back to the book of Isaiah most of the time. Right? How Yahweh Shai means deliverer. Isaiah means savior. Go ahead.
Right, and Jesse was the forefather of King David.
Right.
Was his dad. So it was also the forefather of the Messiah. And it's known in the history that King David was dark skinned. And the scriptures tell you that the Messiah is dark skinned. Not 10.
Yeah, but that's not the point of the conversation.
That is the point. That's part of it. It's part of the truth.
Right.
You see that? It's like,
Yeah, no, that's true. Right, it's true. I know it's true, but I'm saying that's not the point.
when you dive in the pool, you want to go in the whole pool. You don't want to stay at the kiddie
Okay.
pool.
You just trying to get your feet wet?
Okay, I'm trying to trust you. I'm in.
You want to dive in, yo.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm here.
All right, so, and in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people, which he foreknew. And to it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
So it shall the Gentiles seek, right? Because we're so far gone in the mind, falling after Roman customs and being pagans, that we didn't have no clue how to get back. We don't know about no sacrifice. The sacrifice was taken away. We ain't have no temple to worship in. So what are we gonna do? So he made us the temple, right?
Ephesians, it was without Yahweh Shai in the world.
Yeah, it's Ephesians 2 and 11. We got it.
They got it.
Yeah.
All right. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Recover the remnant of his people. That's for the Gentiles, the remnant of his people. Go ahead.
Which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush, all the places where Paul was going. And from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations and shall assemble the outcast of Israel.
So the Gentiles were the outcast of Israel. That Paul was set up to go bring them back into the fold. But according to the law, the Pharisees and Sadducees said because they're not part of the circumcision, they can't come back into the fold. But the Lord said, no, but Paul said, no, through Yahweh Shai, they have deliverance and they're able to be brought back to the fold. All right?
That's the point. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
This Ephesians 2, back at
You can start at 11 again.
11. Wherefore remember that ye being in times past Gentiles in the flesh.
Same Gentiles that was spoken of in Isaiah, because remember Israel was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Now, if you get away from your foundation, right? Eventually you're gonna start when in Rome, do what the Romans do.
Right.
So you're gonna adapt other people's customs,
Right.
not the customs that the Most High gave us. All right. So now we became Gentiles. Go ahead.
Who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision.
And that was being told by the Pharisees and Sadducees. Go ahead.
In the flesh made by hands. That at that time ye were without Yahweh Shai Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants and promise, having no hope.
Covenant and promise. Strangers from the covenant and promise. Who are the children of the promise? Is the whole world going to dwell in the land of Israel?
If they choose to
Romans 9:1.
sins.
Romans 9:1. Let's talk about the promise.
Yeah.
There's only 12 gates. We'll get to that later. Romans 9:1. All right. The children of the promise. All right. When Abraham the Lord gave Abraham the promise and said, your seed shall dwell in that land. Right. That promise went from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. They became the patriarchs, the children of the promise. That's who the promise was given to when he said, your seed shall come out of your loins in Genesis 15. All right. Go ahead.
Romans 9:1. This is Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I'll say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit.
That's Paul talking.
That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
Right? Because Yahushua became that accursed thing. Right? But Paul said because he had so much love for Israel, he wished that he was that accursed thing. But that wasn't his lot. That was only set up for Yahushua to do. He's going to be the deliverer to bring Israel back to the Father. Go ahead.
Verse 4 says, who are Israelites?
Who are Israelites. All right? Remember we was talking about the promise in Ephesians chapter 2 and 11? Go ahead.
It says, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenant
And the covenant
and the giving of the law.
and the giving of the law. He said to our Israelite.
And
All
the
these things came to Israel.
Both covenants.
Both covenants. Both covenants. The old and the new covenant. We're going to that too. Go ahead.
And the service of Yahweh and the promises.
Oh, the services of Yahweh and the promise. What are the services? The services of Yahweh is being able to teach. You have to have that token, which is the Holy Spirit, to be able to teach truthfully. Right? And that was only given to Israel. And what was the last part?
It says, and the promises.
And the promises. Paul said the promises were given to Israel, the children of the promise. That's how you know the people that are dwelling in that land of Israel today are not the real Israelites. Because guess what? He said when the children of Israel dwell in their land, the world shall study war no more. Go ahead with your precept real quick.
People prayed for them.
Right. Yeah, they did that shit in 1948 and made them a sovereign, but the Lord didn't do it, so it don't really matter.
This is the book of Psalms 147, starting at verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So if he only shows his word unto Jacob and unto Israel, the rest of the world can't teach that because they don't know that. They don't know him. He doesn't want to know the rest of the world. He only wants to know his children. And at this point in time, he only wants to know the elect of his children. Because he looks at 2/3 of our nation as heathens. Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 3, verse 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell in the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight?
Right.
Question mark. Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Question mark. Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
Right, but not the heathen. The other nations haven't been able to keep it because it wasn't given to them. It wasn't given to them at all.
I got two for you, real quick.
So that's the whole point of the gospel. Is you people go out, such as yourself, you guys go out to the nations and preach
You ain't listening to
the gospel.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
was supposed to do that.
All
But
right.
think about it though. If Israel was spread throughout the four corners of the earth, where do we got to go to gather Israel?
What do you mean?
If Israel was scattered through the all around the world, right? If Israel was scattered in every nation on earth, where are we going to go to find them? Every nation on earth, we got to go to find them. We're not going to that nation itself. We're going to gather his people out of those nations and get them out of that Gentile state of mind.
Right.
Precept.
Yeah. This is Sirach 17 and 17. For in the division of nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people.
So everybody has their God that he's chose for them to serve. Go ahead.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
Israel is the Lord's portion. He's not dealing with anybody else.
Yep.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1.
That's a good one.
Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, Let my people go that they may serve you.
So he only wanted Israel to serve him. That's it. The Hebrews. All right, go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 2. It says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Start off at 1.
Verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh speaketh against you, O children of Israel.
Ooh, hear this word, like, he's so pissed off with Israel, he's judging the whole earth because of the transgression that Israel did, right? So that's why he created the heathen to punish us. That's why he created Esau to punish us. But that doesn't mean they're going to get their reward. They're not going to get their reward. They got a judgment coming to them for the punishment that he did to us, even though we transgressed. Go ahead.
It says, hear this word that the Lord Yahweh hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
That he brought up from the land of Egypt. He didn't bring everybody out of Egypt. I'm pretty sure there was some Egyptians that said, let us go with y'all. They couldn't come. Go ahead.
Say, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So that word known right there is like a term of endearment. Like, you're only the one that I'm close to or I love out of all the families of the earth. He created Israel to be his personal people unto himself. But what is that? Deuteronomy 7:6 real quick? Yes.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 8. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer.
Right. So it's like what he did was when we turned our back on him and started following the customs of these other nations, that goes all the way back to Genesis. Right? The information that the serpent gave Eve that she brought back to her husband. Right? And they started covering themselves like these other nations that was on the earth. Read that again.
It's back Isaiah 54 and 8. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer.
It's so beautiful because we did this to the Lord, right? And we thought we were doing something, but he said, well, I'm gonna show you how it feels for somebody really to turn their back on you. He turned his back on us. That's when we died as a nation. That's the spirit of death. For to lose all connection with the Father spiritually, that's death.
We have that now, right?
We have that now. We're just like, come on, let's walk a little bit. How many days did Yahweh lay in the earth? 3, right? Right before that right after that third day he rose. Same thing with the children of Israel. It's a spiritual thing. We laid down spiritually 3 days with 350
right,
years.
Galatians 2:20, I have been crucified with Christ. I have been crucified with Christ.
Right. So that's our sacrifice is to come out here and do this word. Come out here and teach and present our bodies as a living sacrifice. All right. So now we turned our back on him. When he turned his back on us, that's when we were trying to run towards him because we were getting persecuted by these other nations. Now he hears our voice, just like he heard our voice. He heard the cries of Israel. He didn't hear the cries of everybody else. He just heard the cries of Israel. All right. Somebody. Oh, go ahead.
In 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
All right. So now Adam, he made Lord of all the creatures. Right. He chose. All right. Let's go back to that. There was a lot of people on the earth when Adam and Eve were on the earth. Right.
You want me to get it?
Not that I'm aware of from Genesis.
All right, let's get Genesis 1 and 1 and yeah, you got it.
This is Genesis chapter 1. This is Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. So Yahweh created man in his own image.
Go up. Let us create man in our own image.
This is it. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. So Yahweh created man in his own image.
26, bro.
26?
Yes.
All right. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And Yahweh said, let us make man in our own image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle.
Pause real quick. What is that image?
Him, Jesus, and Holy Spirit.
No.
Because it says in Genesis 1:2 or something like that, where it's like his spirit was hovering.
That was during the creation.
Right.
I'll go ahead and answer it for you. Laws, order, and dominions. Right? Right. Go ahead.
And over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Right. So now he made man to be ruler over the animals and everything like that. Right. But then he narrowed it down. He gave specific instructions to a certain group of individuals. Right. Keep going.
Verse 27. So Yahweh created man in his own image. In the image of Yahweh created he him, male and female created he them.
Right. All right. So now
that was before Adam and Eve.
Right. Now let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Where is it? Where he blew the breath of life into Adam.
2 and 7. You got it. This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And Yahweh power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
So now he gave us instead of having individuals just rule going around on their five senses, he gave us intelligence, understanding, laws, things like that. Like just because it's a pig and you can cook it and eat it, you're not supposed to eat that because of what it does to the body. He created, you know what I'm saying, gave us a moral compass, right? So now he told Adam not to deal with particular trees of the garden. Those trees were people that he was not supposed to deal with, right? He wasn't supposed to interact with them like that and learn their ways because their ways were wicked.
Oh, precept.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because the Lord made a separation. The same thing he did with the Messiah, the same thing he did with the disciples, the same thing he did with Israel, you know, the same thing he did during the times of Adam. He separated Adam from amongst the people, took him into, what's it called that?
Eden.
Eden. I was about to say Eden.
I was gonna take him now.
They took him into Eden. You see what I'm saying? So he took him to the garden, then he brought the woman to him. The woman was already on the earth. All right? So I know you don't believe that, but
I don't see that connection there.
it's all good, but the thing is, you have to explain where Cain got his wives from.
He left, he was like pushed out of Eden.
There was other wives on the earth. You know what I mean? So it's other people. So there you go. 2nd Ezra 3 and 5. And gave us a body, and gave us a body, verse 4. O Lord, who bearest rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people.
The people?
When he made the earth.
When he made the earth.
He commanded the people back then. It said, and he gave us unto Adam, he gave a body unto Adam without soul. This is Adam now, by itself, it's separated. Which was the workmanship of thine hands, and did breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made a living soul. And thou leddest him into a paradise. Everything I just said. Which thy right hand planted, before ever the earth came forward. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way, to separate him from amongst everybody else. Not to everybody that he commanded, but to this one he commanded to love his way, which he transgressed. And immediately thou appointest death in him and his generations, and whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. So that came later.
Right.
With Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
Right.
After the flood.
Right. That was the beginning of death right there. When he transgressed the Most High's ways, right?
But there were already people on the earth being commanded by the Lord.
Right. And the elder just explained that. So now we can go back into 2nd Ezra chapter 6.
This is 2nd Ezra.
Oh, he was here. My bad. I thought you was here. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54.
Right. And the way they come from Adam, the word Adam just means the ground. And the scriptures say all man came from the ground. But also they come of Adam through, oh my bad. So also they come from Adam through Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. After the flood, you know what I mean? That restarted the nations on the earth. So we all really come from Noah now, through Ham, Shem, and Japheth. The Hamites, the Africans, Shem, you get Esau and us. You know what I mean?
Come from Noah, not from Adam.
These times.
Because
the world prior to Noah was done away with the water, like they were talking about earlier. Now it's going to be done away with the second death with fire this time.
Yeah,
that's what the civilization will bring them.
All right, you have particular individuals called the Adamites, right? Well, this is how we all come of Adam, because when he destroyed everybody and left the 8 souls to repopulate and regenerate from earth, that was from Adam, so we all come from that generation. That's how we all come of Adam.
Make sense?
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam, also whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, from him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
The context just changed. You see that? Of him come we all, even the people that you have chosen. Pause that real quick. Somebody get that Deuteronomy 77 and 6.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. And it says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right, so that he wasn't sent to the whole world. He was sent to the nation of Israel. Go ahead, Amazon.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 135 and verse For the Lord hath chosen Jacob unto himself, and Israel for his peculiar treasure.
And that's just it. So for his peculiar treasure, his jewels got a little bit dirty. So he had to clean them off. We got dirty through sin and transgression. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is 2 Ezra 9:20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw, and I spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. It says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I planted it, made them perfect.
Right. So the Lord made us perfect. So that's those certain group, that cluster from the grapes that he chose was the elect. 2/3 of Israel are going to perish, but they're going to be born into the kingdom through reincarnation. They're never going to sin again. That's total salvation. Can you imagine that? We'll never make the Lord mad again. We'll never transgress his laws again. Living in harmony. It almost seems like our people, it's impossible for our people to do anything like that because of how we live.
The Lord chose the plant of a great people. That's the Lord's vineyard.
That's Isaiah chapter 5.
Right.
By him pruning his vineyard through the laws, he did everything he could, but he still grew wild grapes.
He said, with great labor had he made us perfect. You know what I mean?
And this is the labor that is making us perfect. We got to be purged of all the transgression and the wickedness that we've been partaking in over the years by dealing with these heathen customs. Go ahead.
2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 55. All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sake. As for the other people, which also come out of Adam.
All right, so there's other people, all now separated from Israel, the other people that also come from Adam. Go ahead.
Thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and as like it the abundance of them until a drop that falls from a vessel.
Pull it. Hey, run it.
2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these, it's like 56. And as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said they are nothing, and be like unto spittle, and as like it the abundance of them unto a drop that falls from a vessel.
Right, so if you're carrying a bucket of water, right, and you're carrying it fast, and you spill a couple of drops on the ground, are you going to try to pick those drops up and put them in the bucket? No, that's how the Lord feels about the other nations. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord. It ain't on us. It's just the way he created earth. Just like you got a closet full of shoes. That was like you just there. You have a closet full of shoes, right? You have a favorite pair that you like wear on.
Not really. I know. My favorite pair, no. It's like, oh, okay, I wear these shoes every single day. No.
Okay.
I don't.
True enough. But anyway, it's the Lord has his favorite pair. As a matter of fact, he only has one pair of shoes. He only has one pair of shoes. We'll just leave it at that. All right. So now he'd rather go barefoot than to put these other nations on as a shoe.
Okay.
All right. So now, children of the promise. Right. He made a promise unto Abraham. Right. And that promise. Remember when he took Isaac on the mount, and he was going to sacrifice Isaac. All right. Now Isaac represents Yahweh Shai. You know how they always say he keeps a ram in the bush? That's Yahweh Shai, being that sacrificial lamb for us to have salvation because of the promise that he made to Abraham. We go all the way back to the children of the promise. Now, he said he's going to take those children and set them in their own land. Their own land, right? We broke the first covenant by Moses with the laws, but he made a new covenant. Somebody want to get Hebrews 8:8? Because a lot of people try to say, oh, the new covenant brought in the Gentiles. No, it didn't. It did not. That new covenant.
People are saying what?
A lot of people try to say that the new covenant brought in the Gentiles. No, it didn't. It brought in Israel.
8:8.
8:8. Hebrews 8:8.
Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them,
he found fault in Israel for transgressing his laws. Go ahead.
He saith, behold, the days cometh, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel.
A new covenant. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He'll make a new covenant with who?
With the house of Israel.
With other nations?
And the house of Judah.
That's it. That's it. Ain't no other world in there. Ain't no other. He don't say with Ammon. He don't say with Edom. Nobody else. He didn't say the world right there. That's to let you know what John 6:3. You got to understand. That's because a word is there. People get stuck on a word and not understand the context.
Right. You got to read it before and after.
Right. You have to understand the context of the message being conveyed. All right.
And the etymology of the word, meaning the truth of the word.
Right. Right.
All right. So Revelation 7:1. It says, and after these things I saw the 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea.
That's why we need salvation, because those winds that are being held back by the angels of destruction that's about to come on this place. So nobody's saved yet. We're hoping to get salvation.
That's what Jesus came.
All right, you'll see. Go ahead.
Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
Seal the servants of our power in their foreheads, meaning having the Father's name written in their mind.
Right, these are the only ones going to get sealed right here. Not in other nations. What? And I heard the number of them which were sealed in the New Testament. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of Israel.
Right, so I mean, if you're preaching like that, though, it's like, okay, certain people are going to get saved, right, according to that, right?
Yeah, according to the scriptures.
Right, according to the scripture, right?
A small multitude, in a small multitude of people with them, which is going to be Israelites. Yeah. Like the women, the children, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so only certain people are going to.
Right.
Yeah. All right, wait, but can you imagine that, you being around during the time?
That's not the good news.
Can you imagine being around during the times of Noah and he was a preacher?
Yeah.
He was a preacher. And he was telling people that it was going to flood. And only a few going to be saved that listened to him. It was only 8 people.
Yeah, right. But that's why Jesus came, to offer salvation.
Right, but what did the
for
Lord?
Everyone.
But what did the Lord have in His hand?
Not just the elect of the 144,000 you read in the Revelation, but that's what Jesus came.
See, what did the Lord have in His hand? The 7 candlesticks, right? That represent what? The 7 churches of Asia Minor. That's what it was about at that time.
Yeah.
Not for the whole world, not for the Romans. You know, not for the nations. It was for the 7 churches of Asia Minor, which were Israelites. We just read a bunch of scriptures to you.
Yeah, no, I
prove that point.
I hear it. It's just you guys like. Oh, I'm not saying. No. Let me rephrase.
Yeah.
The good news is salvation is for everyone.
No.
Not just for the elect. Not just for this.
lie.
No, it's not.
Hey, but look, okay, then what did he say? What did he say? He said
only for the people that want to believe the way, the truth, the way, the life, the pathway, that narrow gate. Only the people who are willing to follow that, who are willing to accept the free gift that God gave to everyone to freely receive. Like you don't have to perform work. Like you don't.
What's gonna happen to the people that don't?
They're gonna perish in hell. That's what literally the
And then when they come back and the Lord sets up His nations on
when
earth,
Jesus comes back again,
They're gonna give everybody their lands.
Right. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't read
he
that.
set the lands in the beginning for a reason. He said he gave him the promised land.
I'm tired, y'all.
Yeah, we working your brain out.
Y'all work him up. I gotta sit down.
You can't handle no men up here. Then. You that tired already.
What is that supposed to mean? We talking about religion. You talking about something else?
That's part of religion.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like that.
This is the problem right here. You see how she turned? Y'all see how she turned so quick? No. See, y'all want us to be gay. We're not gay. We're men.
No, please.
We real men up here. So you see how she's talking? She's yelling over me all of a sudden. The energy change. See, when we talking.
I didn't say that word. I didn't say the word. You said
this is the problem.
It came out of your mouth. I'm like,
look,
camera's right there.
This is the problem right here.
Play it back because I did not say that word. I just said I'm tired.
See where I came from? Look at all that.
No.
The same one that said her and her best friend cannot have the same man. That's jealousy. You see that? That's all it's about. Go ahead. What I said was dealing with scripture.
Anyways.
All right, go ahead.
Sir.
Go ahead.
This is John 4:24.
Start 22.
John 4.
This is John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what.
That's the point. he was talking to a Samaritan woman by the well, right? And she was asking for the water, so she would never thirst again, right? This is what his response to it. Now, she wasn't of the nation of Israel, right? So if the whole world of other nations could be saved, he would have gave their opportunity then. Go ahead.
It's John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship.
Oh, wait, real quick. Let you understand the context. This is the Messiah speaking. Go ahead.
Right.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that a typo? No, that's it. Read it again. Read it again.
We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews. This is the Messiah himself. Go ahead.
But the hour cometh, and now is.
Because no. Yo, go up further. Go up further where she says, because our fathers worship in this land. See, because when you had Ephraimites that lived in the land of Samaria, right, that used to worship them. And you had Samaritans, true Samaritans that came and tried to worship the same way that was our custom, right? So she was telling the Lord, oh yeah, our fathers worship in this land. Our fathers knew you was becoming. Our fathers knew this, that, and the third. But he said, you don't even know what you worship. That was his response to her. Because salvation wasn't given to them, even though they were trying to practice our custom. You got to understand the context of his message when he came on the earth. He came to deliver his people because we needed deliverance. Because we were going astray worshiping like these other nations. He set a ruler. He set a God for these other nations. That's why their gods look like them. That's why their gods look like them. Get what I'm saying?
No, I don't get it. What do you mean?
We start at 11 or we want to
Let's go back to the point.
What is that? 20.
You started 22.
22. This is John 4:22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
That's the only thing that matters. So what you believe or what you feel, it really doesn't matter. Only the truth matters.
Only the word, right.
Only the truth matters. So like, it's the truth. He was sent to his people to restore them back to the Father. The whole point of repenting meaning to turn back.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Yahweh is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
So if you don't have discernment to understand the truth, you're not going to get it. It's going to constantly conflict with your soul. Because it's like the truth ain't for everybody. You know?
Right.
That's why he say my sheep should hear my voice. So as he said, his message is around the four corners of the earth, all right? Because we have Jews and about men dwelling in every nation, all right? So it's going to be Israelites out of every nation. So therefore, my sheep going to hear my voice. Those that attain to his voice, that are of the fold, they're going to hear those words and instantly snap on.
Hey, somebody get Ephesians 6.
Oh, I got it.
I got to click it.
Hold on 1 second. No. You finished that?
Yeah, I finished that.
All right. Here's the thing. What you got to understand is Ephesians 6 and 10. What you got to understand is like this is it's a spiritual warfare going on. Right.
Yeah.
So you got the left hand side and the right hand side. The left hand side is bringing forth darkness, right? The right hand side is bringing forth the light. So we're shedding the light on our people, but our people are still dwelling in darkness. So that Christian dogma that was forced upon our people is still lingering in the minds of our people. That's why he said you can't put new wine in old bottles.
Right? Well, that's where the baptism comes, right?
Right. No, that's where
baptizing now you're man.
Well, no. It's all right. Somebody get John 15:1 real quick. It's not just the Bible. It's the understanding of the word.
Right.
You have to have spiritual discernment.
That's the breath.
Right.
Wow.
The breath.
Right.
The breath. Right. Now, you got to be cleansed.
Baptism.
Right.
15:1.
15:1.
It's the book of John, chapter 15 and verse 1. I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
Right. Now let's go. That's the tilling of the ground. The vine. You know what a husbandman is? A seed plant. Somebody that plants seed to grow forth the harvest. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Right.
John what? John what?
John 15. Keep going.
Verse 3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Right. Now we're cleansed through the word that he spoke unto us. But he spoke it in parables. So only the ones that have the Holy Spirit is going to be able to discern it. Because if you go into 1 Corinthians chapter 2, it talks about the difference between a natural man and a spiritual man. Right? They could both be reading out of the same book, but the spiritual man is going to have discernment on how on the context of the message being conveyed. But somebody that's just a natural man, they might know every scripture in the book, know where it is and everything, but they're not going to have the true understanding of what's being said. Right. That's when they're going to say the whole world can be saved. But what about the children of the promise, the first in the new covenant? Was everybody saved during the time of the flood? Noah wanted to save everybody.
Right.
But the Lord had to shut the door.
Right.
In order
all
for
the wickedness that was going on.
Right.
Right. He got to cleanse that away.
All right. So and that's what he's doing now. That's what he's doing now. So the ones that are able to accept the truth are the ones that are going to be salvation.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 8, starting at verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
Right, so there's going to become a time where it's like, you're not going to be able to hear this. You're not going to be able to hear this. And it's going to get real bad out here. And it's going to get real bad. Like, we ain't got time to really contest back and forth.
Huh? You got to talk to the speaker, man.
You want to talk over here?
Stop creep around. Talk to the speaker.
Sorry, just
yeah.
like...
yeah, you got to respect for it. If you see them talking and everybody else is in line, then you go, that's a distraction. Yeah. All right? So, with that being said, we don't have time to go back and forth with the shenanigans and play semantics on words, because it's a message being said out here. America's about to be destroyed. Completely, utterly destroyed. You want salvation from that. That's the salvation you want. Yeah, we've been saved from our mindset that we once had, right? But then what comes after that? We still got to walk that narrow path all the way to the end to hope to get salvation. Because destruction is coming. Some people are going to meet Al-Shajah. Some people are going to meet Yahweh Shah. I want to meet Yahweh Shah. But Al-Shajah is coming to destroy shit. You got a question? No, you got a question? Yeah. How do you want to get saved? First of all, you got to be of Israel. Right? You have to be of Israel. And you have to believe in Yahweh Shai. You have to know the name of the Father, Yahweh, the Son, Yahweh Shai. And you got to cut all these philosophies out. You got to turn back to his laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. And you have to have faith in the Messiah. You have to have an understanding of the truth.
And you got to do the work.
You got to do the work. Yeah.
We're going to do
Absolutely.
it.
I agree with doing the work.
Wait.
I think that was symbolic. You could have kept talking.
Okay, go ahead.
Reconcile relations.
Reconcile what?
Relation to Paul, Epistle of Galatians.
What about it?
When Jesus, Paul wrote to the church of Galatians.
Can you speak up? I can't.
Excuse me, sorry. Do you recognize Paul as a prophet?
Hey, man, speak up. We can hear you.
You can, right?
Hey, yo, he got to speak up.
He got to speak up.
Sorry.
If you're going to ask a question, you can't whisper.
Yeah, you gotta.
Whispering, it's just not a noise.
We're not talking to you, we're talking to him now.
I apologize.
How
do you reconcile the teachings of Paul, who taught against division?
Paul was not taught against division.
Well, when Peter was only sitting with Jews, Israelites, and not with the Gentiles, he
was sitting with the Gentiles first, and then when some of the Pharisees actually came over, he got up from sitting with them and went to sat with them, because he wasn't supposed to be sitting with them because they were going according to Roman custom. That's what it was. It wasn't the other nations. It was the Israelites that were going according to Roman custom.
So when I read that,
Cornelius was an Israelite. He said Cornelius was a just man. The scripture says there's no just among the heathen, meaning the other nations.
no just among the heathen.
Right.
No one's just at all.
Period.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
So
he told the woman in Samaria, John chapter 4, we just read it. She was a heathen woman. He told her salvation is only of the Jews. Right?
But then
no, right?
Well, you see, salvation's complicated.
I'm asking, did the scripture not say that? Salvation is not complicated to those that were given that token. Go ahead. But we're sticking to the scriptures. Did it, you want to read somebody get John chapter 4, 22? That's crazy. If you read the whole book of John chapter 4, when the woman by the well, Samaritan woman by the well, right, said, our fathers worship in this land. And what was his response to her? You know worship, you know not what. For we know what we worship, because salvation is of the Jews. You get that?
This is St. John, chapter 4, verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
Salvation is of the Jews. So what is the context of that being said? It's saying the world can make it, or the Jews can make it?
He's saying it came from Jesus. Jesus was a Jew.
Right. Yeah, that's not the thing, but he was. So who was he sent to?
Sent to the whole nation.
The whole nation of what?
The whole nations of the world.
No.
He was sent to the Jews at first.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He has it.
Precept.
Go ahead.
This is book of Matthew. This is the book of Matthew. Starting at verse 21. And she shall bring forth the son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins.
Right. So let me ask you something. What is the definition of sin?
Rebellion against God, basically.
Transgression of the law. I'll help clean it up for you, right? Who was the law given to?
The Jews.
Right. So can the other nations sin?
Of course.
No. They're just wicked. There's a difference between being a sinner and being wicked. They're set up to be wicked.
Do you know? Well, what about?
I'm gonna ask you again. How?
What about?
Okay, all right. So when you repent, right? You're repenting because you did what?
Sin.
Right.
The law.
Right. You transgressed the law. So if the other nations weren't given the law, how can they repent? Who are they repenting to? Because it says he was sent to his people.
Is God just?
Huh?
Is God?
Of course he's just.
Okay.
Right.
Watch how long it takes for him to understand 2 plus 2 equals 4.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, all
Hold on.
right. Hold on. Let's run these precepts down real quick. Got you.
Let him talk.
They're lying.
I know, but they gotta let everybody talk.
This is Ezekiel chapter.
Hey, devil's advocate.
Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 4. This the Lord talking. And he said unto me, Son of man, get thee unto the house of Israel and speak with my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and a hard language,
Not
but
sent
unto
to
the
the
house
other
of
nations.
Israel.
You're only sent to the house of Israel. That's what he told Ezekiel. Right?
Yeah, to Ezekiel. But then you have Jonah, who was sent to Assyria.
No, he's sent to Nineveh.
Yeah, sorry.
Right. Who was he sent to in Nineveh? You don't think there were Jews living in Nineveh? Went into captivity under the Assyrians.
Were there non-Jews living in Assyria?
Right.
Were there
That's not the point.
non-Jews living
That's
in
not the point.
Israel?
That's because
So you read in Jonah chapter 4.
and were there Israelites living in Rome?
Of course.
Right. Were there non-Israelites living in Rome? All right. Then.
The whole world. It sounds like we're agreeing.
No.
I think we're on the same page.
No, we're not.
Hey, so
This is
like,
the page we on right here.
the Lord was telling Ezekiel to go talk to somebody. That's like writing a letter.
Right.
You got a to and you got a from. He said go write to Israel. It don't matter where they at. Go talk to Israel.
It don't matter if there was Chinese people in wherever he was sent to. He was sent to. He said, "Go to the house of Israel, my people,
To Ezekiel,
and give them that word, my word."
In Ezekiel's case, that was true.
All right.
But like when Jonah went to Nineveh, like it talks about like how the whole city repented.
Can't hear you, man.
He's
You gotta
talking
speak
about
up.
Jonah was sent to Nineveh, the whole city
You
repented.
gotta speak up, bro. You gotta be a man, yo.
Because we're
You gotta be a
recording,
man a bit.
so we can hear it.
Well, I'll try. But the
Shout it out.
the it talks about how like the
Wait a minute. You just said that he was only sent to the Jews. Did you not just say that?
I said Ezekiel was, yes.
No. Before that, when we asked you who the Messiah, when we read it in John chapter 4, verse 22.
Yeah. Jesus was sent to minister to the Jews. That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
Okay. That's all. So you can go ahead and say what you were saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. So but when Jonah came, like the whole city repented, and like the king commanded for them all to repent in the whole city.
Didn't Nebuchadnezzar say the same thing about when Daniel revealed the dream, said that Daniel worships the true God?
Yeah.
Right. What does that mean? But they still went off and did wickedness.
Well, yeah.
That's right.
Is that on Daniel or is that on him?
It doesn't matter because it wasn't sent to them. He even called Cyrus the Great his messenger.
Yeah.
He can use whoever he wants to, but it's all about the children of the promise.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
God's selecting people from every nation.
He made. Who did he make? No. Who did he give the promise to?
The Jews.
All right. So has that promise been fulfilled?
Which promise? Because there's a number of promises, but
There's a number of covenants.
There's only 2 covenants. All right. Let's run through these.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 15 and verse 21. It says, Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon.
Right.
So Tyre and Sidon, those are what African people today, so-called African people. And it says, And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil.
Right. She was a woman of Canaan, right? But it's going to explain who she really was, right? I live in America. But does that mean I'm American? If a Chinese person moves over here and they're living in America, are they still not Chinese?
Look how long it takes.
Are they still not Chinese?
TikTok.
Zoom in on their face.
Is a Chinese person? Is their nationality going to be American? Are they not still going to be Chinese? Yes, thank you. That's all I'm saying. All right, he said a woman. Go ahead.
Verse 23. But he answered her not a word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
That was the Messiah talking.
yeah.
That was the Messiah talking.
But if you keep reading, he does heal her daughter.
Because of what she said. She proved that she was an Israelite through faith. Go ahead. Keep going.
This is verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs.
So he called her a heathen.
Yeah.
That's what he did. He called her a heathen. But what she said, you got to understand the mysteries in the Bible to understand what's being said. Keep going.
Verse 27. And she said, Truth, Lord. Yet the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table.
She was calling him the master, right?
Yeah.
Calling her, but she's eating the crumbs. We were dogs in a Gentile state of mind. When you look up the word Gentile in the scriptures, you look up, it's called Helen. What is a Helen? If you know history, a Greek-speaking Jew or a paganistic Jew. The Hellenization, you know about the Hellenization of the Jews? Right. That was a mystery of the Gentiles. They were bringing Israel back to their natural state because they were worshiping these other false gods. That's all it's about. The transgression against the Most High of Israel. Because he was not sent to anybody else. So he was bringing his people back.
So I point out like what you said is that like he saved her because she showed she was truly Israel because of her faith.
No. You can't be a spiritual Israel. You can't be. Yeah, you can. But it's through the Spirit, but it's through the bloodline, the children of the promise. He's not going to give. He promised that promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's not going to give it to anybody else. That would make him a liar.
Hey, that's like him trying the Spirit by the Spirit. All right, that's the scripture says. Right. Because color is a distinction, but it's not everything. All right.
Right.
So again, he asked. That showed her faith. Again, faith the size of a mustard seed. Only an Israelite will have that type of faith to know that he was the master.
Right.
The enzyme for the people.
Can we go back?
Which y'all still struggling with.
So can we go back to something that you just said? It was very interesting.
I can't hear you, bro.
You said that you can be an Israelite by the Spirit, right?
Yeah, because we're talking about the Israel of the Most High. But it still goes back to the bloodline. Because 2/3 of our people are spiritually not Israel. 2/3 of our people are still going in the covenant of these heathens. So they're not even of Israel. That's why Paul said, they are not all of Israel that are of Israel. That was the separation between the 2/3 and the 1/3 that are going to get deliverance. Go ahead.
All right, yo. Now this is in the kingdom. Now you show me where the nations are at in the kingdom with this. This is Psalm 149 and 5. This is in the kingdom. Let the saints be joyful in glory. The saints are those that made sacrifice by fire with the lambs, right? With Moses. Those are the saints, Israelites. Let the saints be joyful in glory in the kingdom. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. So they're going to be in the beds like, what's his name from Coming to America?
Yeah.
Hakeem, Prince Hakeem. He woke up on his bed, right? Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. So we ain't going to have Bibles in our hand in that day. It's going to be in the kingdom. The word going to be here in that time. To execute vengeance upon the heathens and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. So how does any other nation have that honor to do that? And who are the heathens that it's talking about? Nah,
May I borrow one of your Bibles there?
Nah,
you gotta have your own.
Being in battle, and you say, "Give me your sword."
Let me hold your sword real quick.
Hey, how about it? Come on, man. Come on.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on. Why you finding the scripture?
The question was, who are the heathens? They ain't gonna look.
Who are the heathens?
In that scripture.
Who are the heathen in that scripture?
Well, technically, that was during the time David was,
that was a prophecy.
Prophecy.
That was a prophecy.
Future.
For future.
Yeah.
For the future.
So who are the heathen?
The kingdom. Glory.
Who's gonna be the heathen in the kingdom?
Who's going to be heathen in the kingdom? Just the ones who don't accept Jesus.
Okay. All right. So now,
what does the word heathen mean?
Yeah.
The word heathen? Yeah. I'm not familiar with English.
It said to bind their kings and their nobles. In punishment, it said to bind their kings up in chains. So what are those?
Who are the kings?
Who are the kings?
He's asking you.
Who are the kings today?
Who are the kings today?
Yeah. Is it everybody?
There's, today, I'm not familiar with the current
Bro, you saying
kings.
Huh?
There's Malik Abdullah. He's king of Jordan right now. Are you talking about him? Rule of the earth right now?
Rule of earth. Right now.
Yeah, man.
Right now.
You're talking for niggas.
Yeah, you can say it, man. You can say it.
We're doing good.
Satan.
The word Satan means adversary, right? So who is the physical counterpart of Satan right now? Who run the world? Who faces on all the money?
Well, this is his kingdom, right?
Whose face is on? There
you go.
That was perfect.
These are the descendants of these people.
Hey,
that was perfect too.
I know it's not my dog. She's
Right. Right. So with that being said, like, who is running rampant on the earth since Alexander, which is spoken of in the Bible? Now they're going to be risen up, right? Who is the beast? Who is the dragon?
He's the root of wickedness.
You can't answer none of that.
Who is it? Who is it?
That was the king.
I don't know that we're there yet.
Who is it?
You're setting me up, yo.
Go ahead.
I'm
The Psalm, Hammer of the Earth, chapter 2, and verse 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?"
So the heathen are the people. Gave you a clue. Go ahead.
Verse 2. "The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision." So when it's all said and done, it says, why do the heathen rage and people imagine a vain thing? You go in these churches, they'll say that everybody gonna get raptured away. Everybody gonna be saved. That's not according to the scriptures.
Hey, these are the heathens.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Well, you just said that. You said the whole world. He came and died for the whole world. These are the heathens.
Those are the heathens.
I didn't say.
These are heathens.
Those are heathens.
Yes,
So
these
not
are
a
heathens.
single one of them can be saved, even though you just said you could be saved of the Spirit.
If you're not
No,
from this
no, I said
bloodline,
you have to be of Israel.
You have to be of Israel.
Right, because 2/3 of Israel is going to perish in this destruction. That's what I'm trying to get. The elect are the only ones that are going to make it.
I agree with that. The elect is the only ones that
And the elect are coming out of Israel.
But I think
so y'all basically saying the whole
elect
world
can
need to be
in there.
saved.
Yeah,
Well,
the whole
not
world needs to
any-
be saved.
Definitely, the whole world needs to be saved.
Right.
I don't think everyone will be saved.
Right.
Because not
So
everyone's elect.
when he said he's going to send his hand again to deliver us a second time from Egypt, you saying the whole world needs to be delivered a second time?
Who got delivered the first time?
The first time the people of the promise.
So who gonna? He said the second time
Whoa,
again.
whoa! What did you just say? The people of the what?
I gotta get this close.
Of the promise.
Right. Thank you. The people. Who are the people of the promise?
People of the precept.
Yes.
You getting quiet?
Yeah, you know this?
Who are the people? You said the first time the people of the promise, right? Who are those people?
Who are those people?
Yes.
The ones that were given the promise of Abraham.
Right.
Genesis 12.
Right.
The descendants of Abraham.
Right.
Are
Zoom
we
in,
not
man.
all now?
No.
So then you don't believe in the Bible.
Who? All right. Okay. Let's go.
Then you're not reading that.
Did Ishmael get the promise?
Ishmael did not get the promise.
Right. You just
But
said
he
the descendants of Abraham, though, didn't you? So who did the promise go to?
He gave the promise to Isaac.
Isaac, and then to who?
And then to Jacob.
To Jacob. What was Jacob's name changed to?
Israel.
Israel.
Yep.
So who are the children of the promise?
The children of the promise?
Yes.
Well, can we continue reading the
No, that's
what does the New Testament say?
No, back to the second.
You gotta say it,
Is
man.
he saying Israel just gets saved?
We gotta go back to the second Israel, man.
That's what they're saying. Yes. Only Israelite Gentiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See? He
Oh,
got,
Israel. Cause look, now look. This is
he
why.
got the spirit.
Okay, this will give you kind of what y'all want. Israel has to be saved first. Just like every tree has first fruits to it. Right? It has first fruits, just like in harvest. So the elect of Israel represent the first fruits of Israel. Israelites are the lawgivers on this earth. We went off, we broke those laws instead of keeping those laws and teaching the nations the laws.
Yeah.
So what is the Lord doing today? Today, He's reestablishing the house of David on this earth through the Spirit first, amongst the first fruits of Israelites. The first ones to wake up, that get delivered and taken up into the chariot, brought back down New Jerusalem onto this earth, and repopulate the earth through sex on this earth with women, male and female again, right? And those people that died now of Israelites, 2/3 that didn't make it, that were wicked, that didn't listen, that walking around with their pants down, shooting and killing each other, walking around, all that. They're the ones that's going to die on this side, be brought back into the kingdom, reincarnation, as babies. The ones that get saved, they're not going to die. They're going to get changed. So, who has part in that? It says the 12 tribes, 12 gates, second time from Egypt, the same people that got delivered are the promise. So it's the first fruits. Now, why does that have to happen? Israel has to be established first so we can teach and enforce the laws on the other nations. That's going to govern the world. We're going to be the government on the earth. That's it. To govern the earth in righteousness. The heathens ain't going to have no place. It said that. What it say in Isaiah? It said the heathens going to come up to Israel, to the gates, to try to get taught the laws.
Right. We shall go up to the house of Israel to learn of His ways.
Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. See that? So, but we got to be established first. For us to be established, and this is the establishment of the first fruits. This is the watering of the garden.
So
for the harvest, when He shows up, the husbandman that planted the seed to harvest.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, of course you hear it, but you don't comprehend.
Can I ask you a question? How are you saved?
That goes. I mean, how am I saved? I answer, man.
I know. What's your testimony? How are you?
I'm not saved yet. I'm still going through hell.
Aren't we all?
No, you're not going through the type of hell I'm going through.
You don't know me.
Right, you don't know.
You ain't going through the type of hell I'm going through. My people. I talk as a people, as a nation. But,
who are my people?
Mexicans different. I don't know. What's your people, bro? You look European.
He's not European.
What are you?
What do you think I am?
I don't care what you are, bro. No, we're not going there. I don't know. I don't care. Just tell me what you are.
I'm Egyptian.
You're Egyptian? No, you're not. Well,
what do you mean I'm not? I'm Egyptian.
I get
100%
you.
Egyptian.
Okay, I get you. But Ptolemy was Egyptian too. But Ptolemy was a Caucasian.
Ptolemy, yeah, but that's
Ptolemy
what
you
was
talking
a
about?
13th descendant.
You're talking about that type of
Alexander
Egyptian.
the Great.
You're not
No.
a Cushite, Ethiopian Egyptian. So
How do you know where
I
my
could, bro,
family's
you're not no damn.
What do you mean?
You're not no damn.
Let's see my driver's license.
Bro, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, man.
That's why. Listen,
I'm not doing this with you, man.
we all know that Africans are dark-skinned people, right?
And what about?
But no, listen. We all know Africans are dark-skinned
You know,
people,
no,
right?
true.
But
Y'all
when
believe that?
the Europeans conquered Africa,
We're not from
you go to
Africa,
South
but-
Africa, they start looking white.
What about
Come on, the original
How's that trick happen?
skin like us.
Oh, now
Those are the Sudanese people with their Egyptians. That's why they were so fucking tall, bro.
I'm pretty tall.
I'm short.
Yeah, you can.
I'm short. I'm 5'9".
I'm just saying. My family has a cemetery, right, in Egypt, and we have a cemetery in Egypt that my grandpa is buried in, and his dad, and his dad, and his dad. When you look at my name, you look at Gamal, Shahatab, Alim, Ahmed, Abdullah, Hassan, right? You know it. If you read like in Nafi, right?
Yeah, get to the point, bro.
Right? I'm sorry. So we could trace my my lineage back very, 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 very long.
All the way. Ptolemy.
No, not Ptolemy. You're saying I'm not Egyptian.
I ain't gonna say that.
So
All right, let's say this. Let's go back to like 330 BC, right? 330 BC. What is one of the major cities in Egypt?
One of the major cities. Oh, Memphis.
Alexandria.
Well, Memphis was the capital of the
Right,
time,
right. But who dwelled in Egypt?
Well, so are you talking about in southern Egypt, which is in the
Who
north, or
took
in the
who took
northern
all the
Egypt?
books and brought them to Egypt?
Well, Egypt had many books before.
All right,
It's a mother of
Alexander the Great,
civilization.
right? And what did Alexander do when he conquered nations? He made his generals and his soldiers
also burnt
mate with the
the
women to
library.
spread his seed everywhere he went.
Well,
what about the
actually,
second
you
Egypt?
only would mate with the specific people of that area.
Hey, you see how you got away from the second Egypt?
Right.
Yeah, we still ain't answered that
He didn't
question.
think we knew that, huh?
No, because he asked you a question. He's like, "What's your? How do you?"
Oh,
even
that's what
say-"
we were talking
Right,
about. But
right,
then,
right.
how do we get on this?
Yeah, right. Because you didn't believe him he was Egyptian. Then the whole.
Oh, we done went there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
man.
I got you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, go ahead and continue.
He's somewhere else.
Hey,
now.
do me a favor.
He's somewhere else now.
Listen.
Hey, yo.
I say that. No, he good. He good.
Okay.
Sorry. I just wanted to show you. There's a really cool. I used to be a tour guide.
All right, I want to show you this. Listen. Somebody get Revelation 2:9 real quick. This is the reason why we say this, right? Are the people that are living in Israel right now today the real Jews?
Absolutely not. Well, yes, some of them are. Some of them aren't.
Where you say
Revelation.
Where you say that?
What did the true Jews look like?
The true Jews.
The original Jews that were there before they were exiled in 70 AD.
I wasn't there.
Okay.
Hey, yo, put it like this, man. Your people stole everybody's identity.
My people.
I'm gonna say it. Stop beating around the bush. Y'all call colonizers, but you acting like y'all not.
Okay.
Wow, what? My people, we're Egyptian. We're black too. We're African too. We're all of this stuff. Y'all know none of that, man. Y'all Edomites.
I actually came here just to hear you guys say that.
Look,
Really,
I know why you came up here. I know, we know, devil.
Unfortunately,
Look, do you think that's the Lord?
No.
See, I like to peel back the skin. I don't like to, I don't like to beat around the bush, bro. I'm sure you can see that. You know what I mean? Because I got time to wait for you. I ain't got to shake your hand. So, look, do you believe that's the Messiah?
Do I believe that's the Messiah?
Yes or no?
No.
Okay, what color is the Lord? Do you believe that's important? She doesn't.
I don't think that the color of the Lord is important.
It's not important?
Not important?
It's in the Bible, so every part of the Bible should be important.
I think every part of the Bible is important.
Okay,
What
let's read
part
it.
says that the color of one's skin dictates salvation?
No, that ain't what I'm talking about. That's
It sounds like that you were putting
I
a
said,
lot
is
of
it
emphasis
important? Is it
on
important?
my
Is
ethnicity.
it important?
Is it
Is it
important?
important? That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
Don't talk all aggressive with me, bro. It ain't gonna work. You gotta try a different route,
I
homie.
see,
Faith Walker. Hey, bring that up, bro. Try a different route, homie.
This is Revelation chapter 1.
You gotta
I'm
man
gonna start
up
at
up
verse 12.
All right, before we
I'm
read
sorry.
this, right?
here. Be sorry. You're a sorry ass. That's what you is. Let's
Before
go.
we
Okay.
before we read
Yeah,
this,
it's time
right?
to bounce.
Yeah, have a
Let's
good
set it
day.
down.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, holla.
Thank you so much.
Holla, scholar. Let's go, bro.
Thank you. God bless y'all.
Yeah, all of that. Go ahead, Al.
The truth matters, right? So why,
You got time for
if you know that the Messiah didn't look like that, right? So why didn't his original color matter? Why should it matter?
Why shouldn't it matter?
Yeah, now you're all by yourself.
How does it not matter? Hey, pull that sign up again, right? No, that one right there. That one right there. That one right there. I'm gonna tell you why it matters, right? Because you have God's chosen people, right? Right? That were persecuted like this, right?
That's terrible.
And forced to serve an image like that, saying that's their Messiah. So why? Because they didn't want them to believe that they're the children of the Most High. So you tell me why wouldn't it matter for the true people of the Lord to know who the fuck they really look like? You tell me why it wouldn't really matter. Because you wanted them devils. That's why it wouldn't matter to you. Because you wanted them devils.
No, it doesn't. I'm not.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it matter? Because I want to have a God that look like me, like y'all have a God that look like y'all. So why wouldn't it matter? Get out my face. Bring the precepts up.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of
Came
the
up here to
children
be a
of
devil.
Israel Shall not a dog move his tongue?
Shall not a dog move his tongue? So that bullshit you talking about don't even matter. You can't contest with this, because I got something you ain't got. Yeah, you looking for it, but you can't find it, devil. Keep going.
He said, I came up here just to hear y'all say that.
Right.
Go ahead, man.
Let's go.
Against man or beast, that ye may know that
I wouldn't even consider a man you a beast, man. A brute beast.
No,
I won't pray for you. No, I won't pray for you.
We're going to wake up happy upon our bed with a sword in our hand, thinking about the judgment that we're going to give to y'all. You see that? But right now, we're at the same level, so you could do all that aggressive shit. You see what I'm saying? But someday, you're not going to be allowed to even look at me, boy. You see what I'm saying? In the kingdom. Because when we was in y'all kingdom, we couldn't even hold our head up. Y'all held y'all babies over our head and made us kiss their feet when they were born. That's y'all people. Y'all are Caucasians. I don't care what you say. You're not a goddamn African. Let me see you dance. You're not a dance.
You got no rhythm worth
got
a
no
damn.
goddamn rhythm. Go ahead, bro.
That ye may know how the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Yeah, you too. You trying to hide it. You need to get your judgment too.
You have put a difference between Egyptians and Israel.
And see, if you're a real Egyptian, I still don't like you.
Right. Well, you have a point.
Yeah, how about that?
Wasn't Paul confused as an Egyptian?
But I'm not a representative.
Paul was very dark skinned. They thought Paul was an African. When he spoke Greek, they thought he was an African. Aren't you that? How you speak about Greek? Aren't you that Egyptian? So how you gonna call yourself an Egyptian? You're not a real Egyptian.
Well, Yahweh Shah running into the land
Running into the land of Egypt to blend in, because we had people there, and the Egyptians were dark skinned people, man. I know true Egyptians. I dated one before.
Put hands on his hip. I'm sorry.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Paint the likeness of their images. Y'all went around colonizing. You probably one of the ones that knocked the nose off the Sphinx.
No, actually, that
was... you ever heard of iconoclasm?
No, that was
the whitewashing of a religious icon.
So the one that knocked the nose off the Sphinx, that was a Ottoman
Turk, an Edomite.
Because you're not even the original European. He was ruling the Dark Ages in that region of Europe.
Right.
And that's where the Ottoman Turks came and took over.
Right. When y'all were in the Caucasus Mountains.
That you're in right now. The little season that the Lord is speaking about that you're in right now.
Then when the Lord brought y'all out of the mountains to go conquer and deceive the nation, to make y'all think, make the world think that you're Egyptians and Europeans and like y'all are ruling class people. No, y'all are not a ruling class people. Y'all are heathens, devils. That's it. Go ahead.
This is a different one. 1 John chapter 4. We start at verse 2. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is come in the flesh is of Yahweh. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof you have heard that it should come, even now already it is in the world.
I would like to come to Egypt one day when I have spiritual power so I can tear that bitch up. That's the only reason why I come to Egypt. I'm in Egypt right now.
This is
I'm in Egypt right now.
Egypt's a metaphor for slavery throughout the whole country.
Right.
You know,
the house of bondage. Am I not already here?
Oh, we all are.
No. Bro, you can't possibly know what it feels like to be on this earth, the shit that I go through. Well, I got a teenage son who got pulled over by the police, and that shit can go left in any way it goes. You know what I'm saying? For a fucking traffic stop. And you want to talk about how bro, you want to compare your life to mine? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I don't even want your sympathy. But because guess what? If you had the opportunity, well, you hang me on the tree, what? Man, come on, man.
I love you, and I just want you to see.
You don't love. If you love me, you would care about the true image of Messiah.
That's right.
No, you don't. You just said it doesn't matter.
The image
does matter because guess what? If it didn't matter, they wouldn't have changed it.
So I used to.
They wouldn't have changed it. Some more precepts.
I got one.
I used to be the
second answer. Chapter 6, in verse 7. Then answered I and said, "Well, I shall be departing asunder at a time. Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of the following? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac."
You want to know why y'all able to walk around here freely? Because the scripture says, I see servants as kings and kings as servants. Roughly paraphrased. Do you understand why you're able to walk freely right now? Because the Lord set y'all up to be the ruling class people and be on the earth to bring judgment upon when he shows up. Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Imagine seeing a slave and you walk up and he's like, I'm about to get free. He's like, no, you're not. You ain't about to get free. We saying, telling you, we about to get free. Freedom coming to us. That's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying. He don't want to hear from me. But that's what we've been saying ever since slavery.
I used to be Muslim, right?
Don't care. Ever since we were in slavery, we've been talking about freedom. But now we're coming out here saying it. Soon we say, no, you're not. Why do you think you're going to get free? I want freedom too. You standing outside the damn cage.
Right.
Back then, you was able
right.
to do
You
something.
looking at me with bars in front of, in between us, talking about you want the same thing I want.
Yeah, he know. That's why he over there.
Like, come on. How does that sound, bro?
I just.
How does that sound? What's your credit score? Better than mine. Better than mine. You got more opportunities than I got.
Do you have? Do you want to test that? Because
man, listen.
You know, Esau be messing the credit up now.
My bad. You're right. You're right.
So,
You're right.
but the thing is, if we was both to fill out for a job application at the same exact time, who gonna get the job first?
Well, it depends.
No, it depends, bro. Like,
who's gonna get
we're
this?
telling you
Somebody
this.
with the name Gamej Hatab Ali Mahmoud. The lady over at the Riverside Art Markets couldn't even pronounce my first name. Kept on calling me Paul.
Name don't matter.
Paul. Well, I'm just saying, you know, in the job
Step in for
application,
the interview. When they see
me,
and when they see me,
they're not even
All
gonna
right,
give
no,
me a
I
chance.
got his point.
They're
I got
not
his
gonna give
point.
me a chance.
Listen. All right, here's the connect. All right, I got your point. You used to be Muslim. Your name sounds Muslim, so you feel like the hatred that the world has towards Muslim. But check this out. Let me give you another one, right? Or Middle Eastern people. When we go to the image of the Lord, they rather say he looks. Now they hate people like Bin Laden and shit like that, right? Anything over from over in that East region, right? But they would rather listen to this. But people would rather say the Lord looks Middle Eastern than to say he look like me.
That's equally wrong.
No, what I'm trying to tell you is, it don't matter how you try to form it, you're not going to ever feel the pain that we felt because the Lord put us through that. It ain't even on you. The Lord used y'all to put us through that, so he has a judgment coming for y'all.
Yep.
That's it.
And then you'll feel what we're going to do.
Then you'll feel it. Oh, you're going to feel it. I hope I be the one to give it to you too.
That's going to be the curse.
And you know what? This ain't even me. I'm the most like, I like everybody sometimes. But the frustration I have when somebody's trying to, man, you don't even know what man, bro. You couldn't last a fraction of a second in my shoes, bro. To see some of the scenes I've seen on earth. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. Bro, I done gone to jail. Ask the police, why are you taking the jail? Motherfucker tell me I'll figure it out by the time I get there. Yeah, that's
really bad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Like he has so much, do something about it. Go down to the police station to protest that shit.
Can you go down to my dad and tell him why you stabbed me through the hand?
Huh?
That's
something interpersonal shit. But that's your dad. But complete strangers treat me like shit because of what I look like.
Complete strangers treat me.
Did your dad do this to you?
Hey.
My dad?
Did your dad do this to you?
No, he didn't. But he did that. Well, I gotta go. What was your name?
Their dads were separated from him.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What was your name?
Destroyer of Edom.
Damn, look, you said dead body of the
God bless you.
Got your God.
Quick in the joke. This is Matthew.
Hey, I know you regret that decision, boy.
I apologize, bro. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. But like,
you was completely all the way in the right. You don't understand.
As far as that's for me because I don't like being that.
Everybody that teach, we know we ain't on that. We're supposed to be out here giving them
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. Because they kept talking about being saved. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we haven't made it to the end yet. We haven't made it to the end of the second coming of Yahushua. Because like that one woman was saying, she was like, we should be saved, we should be saved. No, we aren't saved yet. Yes, we know the Lord. Yes, we know who we are. Yes, we know who our people are. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Americans are going to be destroyed. The Father's name is Yahweh and the Son's name is Yahushua. We know that, but we still have the capacity to fall off. We still are vexed through the spirit of this wicked kingdom. But like the scriptures say, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And we haven't made it to the end yet. Therefore, nobody is saved because that word saved says past tense. How can you be saved? What did you get saved from? Yourself? That's cool. All right. But we as a nation aren't saved from this wicked ruler, from this wicked kingdom.
Yeah, we ain't no friendly like these Jehovah's Witnesses. We give everybody a chance to be patient with them, but we can easily flip on them. That's what I love about this truth. You can go cold on anybody in any second.
That's fucking bullshit, man. You doing all that, man.
And the women, they try to come up and keep us in this nice zone, this friend zone.
It was only meant for the other one that was keeping quiet.
Yeah, she was.
It was only meant for the one that was keeping quiet. The other one gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, they try to get us to trim our ways to seek love. We don't need their love.
They over there right now chopping it up.
Oh, they are chopping it up?
Come on, Sam, look.
They over there looking at They over there patching up.
Can you zoom in? Can you zoom in?
They're planning it.
Right over there, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, look, yeah, they were there like, yeah, he said this, yeah, you hear him? He said he wanted to do this, he wanted to grab me in the pussy.
Talking to the Egyptian guy.
Can you imagine this? He said, put me in
Hey, man, hey, we spiritually giving them the business. It's Toxic 24. Toxic 24. Let's go. For real, man. Like tired of being passive aggressive, and then you playing my kindness for weakness as if I'm soft, man. Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 15. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
Right. They trying to receive the same thing that we're receiving, but we mossed them. We mossed them. They can't receive this. Touchdown. Keep going.
For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy, and if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Right. So the first fruits be holy. So everything's going to be made purified through Yahushua, the elect, and then the 2/3 are going to be born in. And all of Israel are going to be righteous, bro. And being able to administer the law. See, the thing about it, the elder even tried to give him a pass. Let me break it down for you. Y'all are going to get a sword, and not the two devils, but he was talking to the women, really. But y'all are going to get, the other nations are going to get some form of living, except for Esau, man. He's set up to be the wicked. For him to say that he's an Egyptian, man, I dated an Egyptian woman. Bro, you're not Egyptian, bro. The women are stupid. She was this fucking tall, bro. You're going to tell me, like, bro, you're a European. Look at your nose. Like, you are not, you are, what do you call it? What did they call it?
And I can see if he said, I'm probably one of these people. I'm probably an Israelite too. So, hey, we can't argue with you there. You could be. But you come and say you're African, bro. I'm like, nah. Hey, like this. Let me see you do that.
Let me go see you stick your head in the ox booty.
You might do it.
Hey, get pissed on by an ox.
Hey, the Lord say he don't put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel too, man. So, hey, then what? Hey, the spirit go divide and conquer between all that, man.
Right. All right. Yeah. You said you're European, no, you're a lion.
Sure, you're a lion. All right, let's go ahead on. Yeah.
I got another one. This is Job, chapter 9, verse 24. Because he was saying the color don't matter. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right. If not, who is there? And now he's doing that same shit over there, trying to pull all the stuff that the young lady got out of her head now, being the devil, you know? So that's all they do is just lie and deceive. Go ahead.
That's how we know who the wicked is, because ain't nobody else trying to put their hand on this scripture and cover the face of the judge thereof. That's how we know it's Esau. Right. He the only one mad that his so-called birthright, that he sold his birthright. That's why he mad. And he trying to get it back. This is him trying to get his birthright back, covering the faces of the judges thereof. Right. That's his work, showing him to be the mystery of iniquities.
Right. Because you don't see you don't see the Chinese trying to deal with the Bible. You don't see the only way they try to deal with it is because they've been converted by that devil.
Russian.
Ain't nobody else trying to distort the Bible but these devils, man.
China trying to change the Bible. They're trying to write their own Bible.
Write their own Bible?
Yeah, they messing with it too.
They gonna die. They gonna get destroyed too. It don't matter.
Yeah, you see the Arabs. They trying to wage holy war against the Bible.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're against it too.
I mean, no, I see that again, but how Esau's going into the Bible trying to manipulate this and teach this and try to conform it or to fit them, to include them in. They trying to get their birthright back.
Oh, quick interjection. This back in Romans 11 and 17, just one more verse. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree were grafted in amongst them, and with them partakers of the root and fatness of the olive tree. So once an olive tree is always going to be an olive tree. You're not going to take a portion of another form of a tree and join it together. So that part that was broken off was talking about the Israelite foreigners. Again, that Gentile topic.
Yeah,
that's what's getting grafted back into that olive tree.
Right. And they're going to try to sit down, lay down on the ground like next to us like they ain't nothing but a stick. Think the Lord going to pick them up and graft them in? No, bruh. The Lord has nothing to do with them. The Lord's not going to deal with them at all. Bottom line.
They were there pampering each other.
Oh, we beat you up, man.
And they contradicted themselves like the redhead said, oh yeah, the Lord was only sent to the Jews. He said that was the first thing he said when he walked up. But then he gonna try to contradict everything that he was saying, trying to, man, bro, get out of here with all that. There's some more scriptures? Yeah, but just, you got some more second Ezra? All right, go ahead.
This second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And that's just it, because that's how we know. The ruling class is set up. Esau was set up to be destroyed. It was set up to persecute us and set up to be the ruling class when Yahweh Shai shows up so they can get judgment, man.
They couldn't answer that question when you asked them. You said, who's ruling the world? Oh, girl in the purple said Satan. You said, all right, and who's the physical counterpart of Satan that's ruling the world right now? Who's under Satan? They
didn't want to answer.
They can't answer any question.
Yeah, they couldn't answer.
Every time you ask them a question, they just like turn
like what's 2 plus 2? Carry the one.
And also, just like every time they came up here to men holding the Bible, and they didn't have the Bible in their hands. They brought out their phones, but they weren't bringing out. They don't got no Bible app on their phone. If they do, it's NIV.
Can you imagine somebody got? Let me hold your gun. Can I see your Bible? No, you can't see your Bible, man, because it's only for the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, for them to know that they're the children of Israel, man. The Most High Yahweh's chosen people. The son's name is Yahweh Shai. We need to get up out of here, man. And the only way to do it is get out here and do this work. That's it. You know? This is how you save your people right here. This is how you save your woman, your children, all that. Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 83, verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
And that was just like, that's what they were doing right there, man. They're part of that crafty council. It's like, you know how you have like a recon mission where like you know, you don't send a whole bunch of troops, you send a certain individuals behind enemy lines. That's what that was, man. That's what that battle right there was. But before we had to bow down, like the elder said, we couldn't even hold our heads up around these devils. But the fact that we can look them eye to eye and see the quivering in their soul because of the things that we know is beautiful. Go ahead.
Verse 4, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And that's why we call ourselves Africans. That's why we call ourselves Americans. That's why we call ourselves Negroes. Because guess what? We were discontinued from our heritage. So that's how they cut us off from being a nation. But Israel's still always going to remain, and we came back into our remembrance. Go ahead.
So that whole philosophy of everybody can make it. That's anti-Mashiach, what they call anti-Christ. That's anti-Mashiach. Because not only are you going against the scriptures, but that means that you're consulting with somebody else to do away with the name of Israel. That's ultimately what it is. We're saying, hey, only Israel is going to be saved. And from that, the rest of the world is going to have peace as well. They're like, no, everybody's going to be saved. Everybody's going to be welcome into the kingdom. No, just Israel. They're like, no, everybody. They're trying to make the name of Israel not in remembrance anymore.
What was that called? The Battle of Independence? Who had freedom then? We both needed freedom.
Right.
They needed freedom from Britain.
Right.
We needed freedom from them.
Yeah, right.
Hey, that was on the Roots. That was on the movie The Roots. Fiddler. the War of Independence had just happened, and she came into the shack, and she was like, "Hey, they just won their independence they just won their freedom from Britain." He was like, "Oh, I'm so happy, Master got his freedom. I so is happy." And he was eating his food. He's like, "Man, I so is happy. Master got his freedom." And she was like, "Hey, don't let him hear you talking like that." He was like, "He can't be eating his food because as much as they talk about freedom, we need freedom from them."
Right. That's what they want to hear us talking about. They get demonized.
Right.
You start talking about freedom, they start smiling and looking at you crazy. Like, okay.
Oh no! Wait! What he did? He said, that's so bad. That's so bad. That's terrible. That's terrible."
It's so horrible that they did that.
All right, go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 49:12. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judges was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished?
They still think they supposed to be walking around this thing footloose and fancy free, like without nothing happening to them. Like they ain't supposed to go through the stuff that we went through.
Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
Right. So that judgment. Go ahead. No, go ahead. That judgment, that cup they're gonna drink of is slavery, man. They got it coming to them. Whether they want to, we didn't believe we were going into slavery. We didn't believe it, but we dang so went into it. Shit, yeah. So they don't believe they going into slavery. They damn
sure
going.
They believe it.
We didn't believe it.
He said it's gonna be a falling away first.
Yeah, we fell. We ain't even tripped. We fell.
Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
And you don't even understand the context of that, man. I mean, this devil was given the sword from the beginning. That was his blessing. Right. And he took us into captivity. So, like, I mean, come on, bro. It's not rocket science. It's not right. I don't care how you try to paint it. It is what it is. No matter the narrative you're trying to paint, man, it's all about what the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua said, man.
He said this, he said that. But what about this? Well, he said he only dealing with Israel.
Yeah.
That's the end of all matters.
That's why Esau trying to come up with that soft voice.
Uh-huh.
That's like being at your job, man. The whole thing is about quieting the spirit of our people. The so-called man, the man of our people. They want us to trim our beards at their job. They don't want you poking your chest out. You look intimidated. But what do? What we saw earlier. Walking around like this. Yeah. See that? Yeah, they don't want us speaking up. They don't want to lift up our voice. But what did the Lord tell us to do? Lift up our voice. So when they come up to us, you make them talk loud, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna have abs. You're gonna have some abs by the time you finish up here.
Either abs or sore throat one.
Yeah, and now so kahuna, you're gonna be a man.
Lift up your voice as a trumpet. Lifting up your voice as a trumpet, that's proclaiming what you believe in. All right, now, of course, you got, I'm just talking to this brother. But if you're teaching, if you're asking a question in a dialogue like this, speak so everyone can hear you. Speak so everyone knows what's being said.
What you do to him? No, go ahead.
No, I was saying this Isaiah cry loud, spread not. That's
right. And what do you do like a wicked woman? She arguing with you, and she all loud like, and you try to be like, hey, keep it down, because you don't want nobody to hear it.
Right. Yeah.
See that? So that's why he come up all quiet and trying to get us to conversate lowly, so ain't nobody hear it. Damn demons, man.
But that's also a weakness that Esau has too. That's
No, you can make a point outside again.
That's a weakness that Esau got because he's naturally not a upright man.
He like this.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, he's like he pregnant.
He's naturally, so he want to try to be all smooth and stuff because he know he don't have that to be a man to stand on what he believe in.
Yeah. It's a manipulation tactic, man. He was doing that in front of the women because make me look like they're aggressive. That's it. He gonna talk all soft and smooth and shit like that. And they don't want. I'm not supposed to speak with authority. Come on, man. He doesn't want to speak with authority because guess what? He's a woman, so he's gonna act like a woman, and he's gonna appease a woman. So now they were over there talking like, yeah, man, he yelled at me.
It's all right, man. It's all right, baby.
And they said everyone won't be saved.
Oh my gosh, how could he talk to you like that?
What did you say when he said it? And that's what I came up here to hear y'all say. What did you say to him?
I call him the Edomite devil.
Okay. Right. He was like, that's why I came up here to hear you guys say.
Oh no, I was telling that they're going into slavery someday.
Okay.
And he's most likely an Edomite. So they know about us, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They'll more than likely all four Muslim church.
You see, I said most likely an Edomite. Yeah, most likely. So, you know, he got mad at that. He said, yeah, that's why he revealed himself. He said, that's why I came up here to hear y'all say that.
Gotcha,
Right, so now that you heard it, what you gonna do?
So, ain't nothing. It's like subconscious, spiritually, like they spirit know that they can't obtain salvation, man. So that's why they come up going against it, like they want to hear us. Like, hey man, don't sit there and talk about that. If you don't talk about it, it won't come true. Hey, you put like, bro, it's inevitable, you know.
You know what? And what it is, when you have a goal set to do something, and somebody wants the same thing that you have, right? They'll do anything in their power to take that from you. The whole goal is, right, for him to contend with me, right, and be all sneaky and devilish to get me out of character, to get me off my path. Now I'm acting carnal. Now I'm really, gotcha.
Hey,
it's a trap.
Hey, Con, and that's what putting on the whole armor of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua come in at, man. You know, hey, study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, right, to dividing the word of truth. So that way, hey, when that do happen, hey, none of that bullshit can seep in and penetrate us, man. You know, so therefore, we standing boldly for the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Hey, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, man, but the righteous stand bold as a lion, man.
Right. Right. I just had to roar a little bit. That's all someone put up.
This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitudes of mountains. Truly is the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
Oh man, read that again, please.
This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 23. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitudes of mountains.
Well, you got a full clip over there today, boy.
Truly in the Lord our God is the salvation of Israel.
No, that's bad. For them to think they got salvation, like, that's vanity, man. It's only meant for Israel. What the hell? They need to be saved from the system they set up. Same, man. I set up this shit.
Save for himself, God.
Right. I set a trap for. Oh well, they did set a trap.
They don't like it now.
You ain't gonna be saying that.
This is I'm bringing out this scripture for something that she said earlier. We said we still need to be saved because our people are still getting gunned down in the streets. And she said, well, that's man. That's not the Lord. So this is Amos chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord hath not done it? And then that's the question. And the answer is no. The Lord is in control of everything. All right, because the Lord controls the minds of these people. Not only does He control the minds of the kings, turning it like a river, whithersoever it goeth, but He also controls the minds of everyone on planet Earth right now.
Right. So there's no way around it, man. It don't matter what they try to do or how they try to finagle their way into the fold. They can't do it, bro. The Lord gonna boot their ass right on out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. wait, how Chris Brown saying? How you outside of complaining when you can't even get in? You can't even get in, bro. You mad because you can't get in. We partying over here. I mean, plain as day. Read the scripture. They ain't bring out not a scripture the first.
You said it. You was like, you ain't listening, huh?
He wasn't.
You ain't listening, huh?
He wasn't.
The elder asked the question. They didn't even try to respond.
You still got more on your lesson?
I ain't even started my lesson.
Never going to that.
All right, let's go. Let's get Hebrews.
Oh, maybe do the prayer. We need to do the prayer.
Oh yeah. All right.
We went straight into battle.
Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna go into the lesson and calm things down and let's just go into the lesson. But first, before we do that, I want to give all glory and praise to the Father and His Son in the Hebrew tongue. And the Holy Spirit of truth want to say, Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles, the great millstone of our elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the argument that are pushing the truth to sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. All right, let's get Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6.
This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. It says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him.
So without faith, it is impossible to please Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So this is going into the power of believing, right? See, individuals that come up like that, they want to take that away from us. They want to take the belief away from us, because that's all we have right now is faith. Because the things that are being spoken hasn't been manifest on the earth, so nobody believes us. We're the only ones out on earth that believe it.
For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that's what Yahweh means. It means he exists, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Right, they're not going to diligently seek Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because they're trying to creep in unaware. They're not going to diligently seek him. All right, all right. Somebody get Romans 3:3 real quick, because we're going to have people that contest against what we believe in, and it's not about them their disbelief, because they don't want you to believe. That's what the whole goal is, to stop you from believing in what you believe in. That's why they speak against the scriptures. You know.
This is Romans chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall there be unbelief? Make the faith.
Shall their unbelief?
Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect?
So, because they don't believe, and 2/3 of our people don't believe, does that make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Does that mean these prophecies ain't gonna come to pass? Does that mean you're gonna stop me from getting salvation? No, you just gonna die in your disbelief. That's it. So, listen, I'm cool with it, because guess what? I like to see something contrary to what the spirit that's within me that keeps me on the right. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to, because guess what? If I don't believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, this is what I got to believe in. This is the only thing that's left. This is the only thing that's left. So why am I going to turn my soul over to that when my soul is being delivered by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua?
Right, the sun wouldn't know how bright it is if there was never no night.
Right.
So we need the contrast to ourselves.
We need the contrast. That's a beautiful thing. We need that to understand who we are and what we believe in. If everything was the same, it wouldn't even make any sense. And just like you said, you believe God is balanced. Yeah, I do believe it. That's why he put you over there and me over here, us over here. You know what I'm saying? All right. Proverbs 3:5. You got a precept? Go ahead.
It's Isaiah 53:1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?
The arm of the Lord is Yahushua. Who has believed? This is the report. We're singing a song of Yahushua. Who has believed it? Only the elect are going to believe it, man. And the thing, and you got the nerve to try to bring forth disbelief, all the things that my Savior went through to give me this opportunity to believe, and you think I'm going to turn away from that? Man, your thought process is trash to think something like that, man. Lord, man, keep going on that. You think you're going to cause me not to believe after the sacrifice Yahushua made? Go ahead.
Verse 2, for he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He have no form nor comeliness, and when he shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
Right, and to 2/3 of our people, we're in that same reflection. Right, they don't see us as being beautiful, but the Lord is beautifying us through the Spirit. Right, so we that's the way they despise Yahushua. They're going to despise us in the same way.
Verse 3, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
And doesn't that sound like the men of the Lord? So no servant is greater than his master. But guess what? Yahushua believed too. Yahushua had faith. Yahushua was set up to have faith, that his sacrifice was going to bring us back to the Father. Go ahead.
And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Right, but the true worshipers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua are going to cleave unto him. You know, we're not going to despise Yahushua. We're not going to despise our way to repentance, our way to deliverance. Go ahead.
Surely he have borne our griefs.
So think about it. He borne our grief. So what we're going through now is minor, because he took all the adversity and persecution for us, man. So that's why he said, "My burden is light, my yoke is my yoke is light, my burden is not heavy." Or vice versa. Go ahead.
And carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of Yahweh, and afflicted, but he was wounded for our transgressions.
For our transgressions. So he went through all that because of our transgression. You want me to have not believed? You want me to believe in what you believe? Fuck out of here. Go ahead.
He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed.
Man, can you imagine? Can you imagine you being at the house? I had my brother do this for me one time. I tore up something in the house, and he took a butt whooping for me.
Like a general.
Yeah.
He got stripes.
Right. Major stripes, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the judgment and persecution that we were supposed to get, Yahweh Shai took that for us. And you want me to believe in some fantasy that you got in your mind and everybody? He didn't do that for everybody. He only did that for a chosen few. And Lord willing, we part of that number. But we're going to stand up as if we part of that number all the way till the Lord tells us we're not part of that number. The Lord going to have to tell us. Go ahead.
Christians love talking about Exodus like it. Okay. Christians love talking about Exodus. They love talking about the Old Testament. But they don't like talking about that. That was only done for one specific people. All right, because that girl, she kept saying, oh, that's in the Old Testament. That's in the Old Testament. They try to do away with the Old Testament, not knowing that we're supposed to eat the whole roll.
Hey, and that shows that's the semantics. All right, they go bouncing around, withering, like the brother said, all right, playing the game of semantics because they really don't have the answer for one. And by us telling them and giving them the answers, being the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, they don't want to accept it.
Pouring water on a stone.
Bro, that's so beautiful that like to know that you got the answers and they don't. That should make us walk around like this in spirit. Because guess what?
That's why you trying to get your Bible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me take the power away from you.
Let me hold that. No, that's what Esau did spiritually, though. Yeah. That's what Esau did spiritually. He took the Bible away. He took our power away from us. Now we got it back. Let me hold it. I know I'll let you hold it once before, and look what you did. Look at that sign right there. Yeah. Look what you did with it. You started. Listen. You got one of our brothers, Constantine, to come up with the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah, that's them holding our Bible.
That's them holding our Bible.
Oh, Django showed that shit. The guy was whipping the woman with the scriptures all pinned on in that scene.
Because she broke some eggs.
And they thought, because they believed that the Lord gave, again, why do the heathen rage? What he brought out earlier. You know, they think that the Lord gave us into their arms and into their teeth.
No, he did, but they think that he did that because of they're the chosen people.
They the ones.
Yep.
But nah.
This what happened when we give y'all our Bible.
See how thick this Bible is?
Yeah, we got to point down there.
So lucky. I was gonna say, and then you see the chick. She was trying to get your sword too. It's kind of like Samson.
Yeah.
She was trying to take your power away.
That was when she first came up. She was like, "Can I hold your Bible?" I'm like, "No, this is my woman. You can't touch my woman. You can't hold my Bible."
Right.
I ain't trying. Yeah, I ain't gonna let you hold.
I would say, hey, you want to hold my Bible? You don't believe in multiple women.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, wisdom. Hey, first time woman, you don't believe in multiple women. No, you can't hold this. Yeah, so a woman like that, like that's just smash material. She will never be able to get that part of me that belongs to Yahweh Shai. She'll never be able to see that side of me. I learned that from the elder. You can't expose all of you to these women out here, man, because they'll do you like Delilah did Samson. Because like you can become exposed, especially if you let your guard down from a woman, and like you let her, because this is our vulnerable side. This is our vulnerable, our feminine side, so to speak. Our soft side is dealing with. And if you reveal a woman to that's the side that they try to get to keep them on your mind. You know, you can't allow a woman to get there. Now, a righteous woman, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? You're going to understand a righteous woman, because a righteous woman, she's going to create that within herself and show you that she's worthy to have that part of you. She's going to become that part of you, not force it. You know what I'm saying? She's going to go through the same persecution that you're going through. In order to get that, she's going to create that within herself. She's going to create a sanctuary. That's what a true woman, just like how wisdom does with a man, a true woman of the Lord will do the same thing. That's why he said, honor her as a weaker vessel and deal with her according to wisdom. A woman of the Lord is going to be wise in herself too. All right? Is another precept? If not, can somebody get Proverbs 3 and 5?
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
And that's what they did. They have no choice but to lead to their own understanding because they don't have the Spirit of the Lord in them. You know, they have to have that Holy Spirit to understand. Like, in order, like, you can't speak to somebody in Chinese. I mean, you can't speak to a Chinese person if they don't know how to speak English. You ain't gonna understand what's going on. So they don't understand the language that's being spoken. They don't understand the heavenly language that we speak according to these scriptures. So we got to trust in the Lord with all our heart, man. Go ahead. You got something you want to say?
No, I was just saying it was proof because you said so. You ain't listening to nothing. She was hearing, but she couldn't like Juan said. She wasn't comprehending. The scripture said clearly, of Adam come we all. Yeah. And there's a certain portion drop falling from a vessel, and she was just like, everybody can be saved.
Yeah.
Like she did not understand.
That's hearing you would not understand, and seeing you would not perceive.
Yeah, because she's being emotional. It was all emotions, man. It's all emotions. That's what she's dealing with. You don't want to deal with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. She want to deal with emotions, man. All right, keep going. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying nobody brought out a scripture about what they believed in. That's all.
Yeah, they always talk feelings and emotions.
Even in that point, the other lady that was standing next to her, she was getting and understanding a lot more of what the bishop was saying than the rest of them was.
Yeah. Right.
Quiet.
You know why? She was being quiet.
Right. She was very listen. When it said a modest woman coupled in fear with chaste conversation, she had all that. She's very soft spoken. And she corrected old girl whenever she needed to be corrected. That was a true woman. I really hope she finds her a man of the Lord for real, man. I really hope she finds a man of the Lord. All right, come on, let's bring it out. Hey, if you got any questions, man, it's cool.
Oh, no, I'm just hearing you guys speak, man. I just stopped to hear the word for a second. You know?
All right, cool.
I feel like, it just called me.
That's what's up, man.
For a second, you know?
All right, what's your nationality?
Yeah, I'm French and Irish.
Oh, yeah? Irish on your dad's side?
My mom's.
On your mom's? Oh, your
yeah, French, big ass nose, you know. Like, excuse my language, but yeah.
No, you're good, but no.
And like, I just felt like the word was calling me to hear you guys speak for a second, so that's why I stopped.
All right, well, we're here to teach that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true Israelites of the Holy Bible, but it's not according to color. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, man. I'm tan.
Yeah, I get it. But the children of the Lord were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Somebody get Isaiah 36 and 34 and 16. Okay? 34 and 16. So
this is Isaiah chapter 34. It's Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
So that's what we do, and we read and we gather intel and understanding of what's being spoken, and we teach to the wind, right?
No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate.
So understand, and we prophesy, none of the prophecies that we speak are going to fail, right? Go ahead.
For my mouth it hath commanded.
All right, the mouth of the Lord is the men that come out here on the highways and byways and give these commandments from the Lord. Go ahead.
And his spirit it hath gathered them.
Right, so the spirit is going to gather who need to hear this message, and it's not according to color. Right, because we don't know where your lineage goes back to. If you got to call, you got to call. It's up to the Lord to decide that. All right.
My heart's next to God. You know what I'm saying?
All right, yeah, but you got to have a true. Messiah really don't look like that.
Of course,
yeah.
You know.
But I get what you're going.
It's just a portrait, you know. Like,
yeah.
Something like that.
He said he's not done with the tattoo yet. He got to get the color brown next.
Hey, that's what's up, man. I'm just gonna give him a little bit more tan, you know what I mean? Like, so he's like in between like Spanish, Latino, or whatever he wants to be. You know?
Yeah. No, I got you.
He's just living his best life out here, you know.
All right. Go ahead. So I was just giving you that message, like, you know what I'm saying. That's why that pull was on you. It could be for your salvation or for your judgment. We don't know. It's up to the Lord.
I could have walked by, but you know, I'm not that random person. You know,
right.
I like words and I like people who speak.
Right.
I don't like small talk. You know.
Right.
If you ask me like, hey, how are you doing? Like, I want to ask you if you believe in aliens or reincarnation and things like that.
Right.
You know, I don't like small talk.
Right. No. I feel
you're talking deep words and stuff like that's what intrigued me to stop for a moment. You know.
No, I got you.
Of course, yeah.
All right. You got a piece of it?
This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour.
Right, so the speckled bird, Israel's going to look like all these other nations, man. Because we're scattered throughout these four corners of the earth. So, you know, once seeds start mingling in, they start looking like these other nations. But that spirit is going to stay within them. So when that calling comes out, they're going to be drawn to that. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right, go back to the Proverbs. Somebody get Romans 4 and 21.
It's back at the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, and verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding.
Right, so we trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua with all our heart and lean not to our own understanding. Because if we lean on into our own understanding, that'll have us in these churches. All right, ain't no truth in these churches, man. They don't have us in these streets. Ain't nothing out here for these streets. Yeah, it's all about money, man. Man, ain't nothing. If we fuck, man, listen. To have a carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. I mean, you're an enemy to the Lord. You have to be spiritually minded to get a true understanding. So to be spiritually minded is to have that understanding given from the Father through the Son to his people. Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path.
Right. So in all our footsteps, we know the Lord controls everything. So in all our ways, we acknowledge Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, so we may have an understanding on how he's directing our path. All right, and hope we're walking in the path of righteousness. And always keep your head on the swivel, man, because there's danger out here on every side trying to pull you off of that path. Go ahead.
Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and depart from evil.
Right, depart from evil, but it's hard to do when you got evil on there. Like we did a lesson once before. One of the hardest things on earth to do is do what's right. Because you got all this wickedness around you, and some of the wickedness don't even seem to be wickedness. Like I said before, like the church will be a place to go to motivational speaking, but don't let them teach you the Bible. You know, because they don't understand it. They're lying. But guess what? Like, but it appears to be righteous because there's a lot of smooth words and soft speech. So it confuses the mind of many, man. It deceives the mind of many. So if you lead to your own understanding, you'll fall off into these churches or fall off into Islam or Buddhism and fall into these false doctrines, right? And it's going to lead you all the way to destruction. So it's a narrow path to the way of truth. And it's like walking a tightrope. You got to stay balanced to walk it all the way to the end. Go ahead. All the way to verse 8.
Verse 8 of Proverbs chapter 3. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bone.
Right, so health to thy navel, like, you know, that's how when you're in the womb and you got the umbilical cord attached to your navel and they give you all your nutrients and stuff like that, that's going to be healthy to you. That's what we're going to feed off of. That's what's going to nourish us, right? Through the wisdom and understanding of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So that's why faith is so important, because with the thing with what you gain in wisdom, you're going to gain in sorrow, man. So that's why faith and discipline is so important, because the more you get of understanding, the more attacks that you're going to have drawn your way to pull you away from that and put you in a dumbfounded state of mind. They're going to continue to try to rock you to sleep, but you got to understand to pull yourself away from that. But it's hard. It's like being in a place of artificial light, and the Lord tell you to go walk in a room full of darkness, right? But you don't have that. You don't even know that you're that light that's going to light up that whole room. It takes faith for you to be able to understand. The Lord said, go walk. You hear a whole bunch of creeping things in that room, right? But no, I don't want to walk in there. It's dark in there, Lord. Go walk in there. Then as soon as you walk in the room, you see a whole bunch of light. And you get an understanding that you are that light that's lighting up that dark room. You got something you want to say?
Moses coming down off the mountain.
Right.
His face shined because he was in the presence of the Lord. He shined with so much wisdom. Literally, like, light was coming from his face so much that the Israelites, they were scared of him. He had to cover up his face.
So because he was in the presence of the Lord, right?
He was in the presence of the Lord.
He's in the presence of the Lord. So once you come into this truth, you become in the presence of the Lord, so that your face is going to shine like a light also. People are going to start to see that glow on you, especially with the way the words that you speak, your actions throughout life. They're going to understand, because it's more than just reading. Faith is more than just reading the book and believing, right? It comes from your actions on life, because you got to understand, you become a focal point for people to look at. They're going to judge you, maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way. So that's why we got to always be mindful of our actions when we're out here in these streets, man. Go ahead.
It's Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. You are the light of the world. A city on the hill, a city that is set on the hill cannot be hid.
So we don't hide, right? We are the light of the world. So this is a world full of darkness. We got to bring hope to the people, right? And we have to maintain our hope, that faith within ourselves also, all right? Because we become an example of what having true faith really is. Go ahead.
Verse 15, neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel.
So don't get to reading the scriptures and you gain a whole bunch of knowledge. Now you want to sit at home thumb thugging on the internet trying to be a Bible thumper. No, get out here on these highways and byways and let everybody know what time it is with the Lord.
Hey, that shows a lack of faith, man. By you sitting there thumb thugging behind the computer, behind the keyboard, man, shows a lack of faith. Why? Because if you actually believe in what you, if you have faith in what you believe in, you're going to get out here and
proclaim
that, declare that, you know. Hey, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, man. So how can you hope or have faith in something that you can see right here face to face, man? What we hope in is the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. What we hope in is prophecy, these scriptures, man.
Right.
So therefore, by us getting out here and believing in we have faith in what we believe in, we get out here and try to get everybody to believe in the faith that we have, man. So therefore, if you don't have faith, if you have faith, you're going to get out here and portray that faith that you have to everybody else. That way they can hop on the same locomotive and obtain salvation as you, man.
Yeah, that faith is going to signify who you are as a human being or who you are as a person of the Lord, man. That faith is going to have you stand 10 toes down, standing on business for the Lord. All right? But if you're scared, you can't walk out here scared because you're afraid of what somebody may do to you. Well, shit, they're going to do it to you regardless. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do it to you regardless. So you might as well, man, let's go. Let's go. Go for the gusto. Do what you do. Hurry up, please. You know, that's the type of mindset we have to have. Because guess what? They're going to try to use fear to try to curb your faith.
Can I chime in? I'm like, you know, like how many days do you wake up and you like scroll on your phone for an hour or two? You know, waking up, getting out of bed, you just scroll your life away. Why are you wasting all that on screen time when it could be about the people in front of you?
Right.
You know, or focusing more, invested your time more like
on the Lord.
Sacredly on like something better than this damn trolling, you know, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Why do you want to scroll on TikTok for 2 hours in the morning time? You know what I mean? Why don't you get up, drink some coffee, and like meditate, you know, study, do some things that, you know, will help you appreciate yourself as a whole. Go work out, go take a jog, you know?
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah. Listen to the spiritual podcast while you're taking the jog,
right,
you know?
Right.
Things like that.
Or do a lesson.
Yeah.
Do a lesson. Become that spiritual podcast that the people are looking for. We have to shine that light so people have a true understanding that there is light on the earth in the midst of all this darkness, man. When you understand that you are that light being that was formed from the Most High through His Son, then you're like a light shining in a dark place, and people will gravitate to that light, like you know, like the light bulbs do. Go ahead. All right.
Hey, I gotta go pick up my kid, man. But I really appreciate you guys' time. Y'all here
every Saturday, man.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday, man.
All right, man.
All
I
right, man.
appreciate y'all's message.
Hey, no worries. Hey, Lions Den main page. Lions Den with a Z.
Cool. Yeah, man. I'll look you guys up and come check you guys out again.
All right, it's
man.
on YouTube.
If I didn't have to pick my daughter up right now, I wouldn't run. I would stay.
No worries, man. Have a few minutes, but
you know, families first.
No, I got you.
All right, man. Thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all.
All right, take it easy.
Hey, crochet.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Right, that was a prime example of that light, whether he's an Edomite, Israelite or not. But it just shows the power in the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Stop them in his tracks. That's the power. We have spiritual powers, man. That's the power that we have. Imagine when we reach the hearts of our people, man. Not to say he's not our people, I don't know, but that's the power that we have. The same way he stopped in his tracks and turned back, the same way Israel's going to do the same thing, the elect of Israel. All right, go ahead. Interjection.
Verse 16. Let your light shine so before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right, so our good works, guess what? Who gets the glory from that? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So we got to show off our good works, man. We have to put on as the elect. You know? Put on as the elect, man. You know? That would have been funny if he would have been up here when the other stuff was going on. Yeah, he'd have went off on him. I can tell he'd have went off on him. Yeah, he'd have shut it down. Shut it down. All right, that was it. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith. Lay hold on eternal life, whereunto thou art also called, and hast professed a good profession before many witnesses.
You want to speak on it?
Go ahead. I just wanted to get that because the bishop was speaking on faith. Just shaking the world. They love bragging about or boasting about their good jobs and what they make. So what more is it for us to boast about this good profession, man? Doing the work in the will of the Lord and how shining that light and faith and sincerity.
Come, beautiful, brother, beautiful. It's like a lot of people don't understand. They're really scared of the dark. They don't understand that darkness that consumes them, so they become content with it. But once they realize that true darkness exists, that's when the fear is going to come back on the earth. When Esau brings down the hammer, swings that hammer one last time, then people are going to realize their fears are really right in front of them. They're going to be searching for that light, man. And you being a part of that light, you being a place of refuge for people to run to, man. Isn't that beautiful? The Lord gave us that responsibility, man.
Right, man, the whole world hate me, but the Lord loves me.
Right. And then it's just like when Simba was running around trying to roar, but didn't know his dad was standing behind him and gave that big roar. That's how Yahushua is standing behind us, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's beautiful. We have the power of the whole earth standing there with us boldly as a lion, chasing that eagle out of the woods, man.
You tell the devil he's going to say he told him to pray for me.
Right.
But listen.
You said telling him, like, I hope I'm the one that put you in slavery.
Right. He said, well, no. I was going to be an asshole. I'll be like, Lord.
That's what he said to Abraham. Please send us some water, please.
Right.
Put out the fire. He's gonna be the same way in the kingdom.
Same way in the kingdom. I started to say, Lord, please hurry up so I can put this devil in slavery. That was the prayer I was going to say to him.
I thought you were kind. No, that was Xerxes.
No, that was Xerxes. Yeah.
He's I am kind.
That's it. Hey, who had that Proverbs chapter 3? Did you go all the way to 8? All right, somebody get Romans 4:21.
I got it. This is Romans chapter 4 and verse 21. In being fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was able also to perform.
So let's go to 20.
Yeah, that's fine. This is Romans 4:20. He staggered not at the promise of Yahweh through.
16.
This is Romans 4:16. Therefore it is of faith that it might be by grace to the end, the promise might be sure to all, the seed not to that only which is of the law, but to that also which is of faith of Abraham.
Right. So man, we should have brought this out when they was here. We should have brought that out when they was here, man. Because guess what? That was the bringing in of the Gentile Israelite foreigners, man. Not only to the law, not only to the circumcision, but to the uncircumcision. It's plain as day. The Lord made a promise through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and this was the only way to fulfill that promise. The Lord is not going to hold back on his promise. You mean to tell me he going to give salvation to the whole world? And he called Abraham his friend. That's a term of endearment to him, to the Most High. He called Abraham a man, an earthly man, his friend, and he made a promise unto him. And he said he's going to commit up to that promise. Go ahead.
What was on? 11?
No, you got
16.
17.
Romans 4:17. As it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations before him whom he believed, even Yahweh who quickeneth the dead and calleth those things which be not as though they were. Who against hope believed in hope that he might became the father of many nations, according to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be.
Right. So he said Abraham didn't have no children, but he said, well, your seed shall be as sand of the sea. But Abraham, even being in his old age, had faith in that. Even though he didn't have any children yet. Go ahead.
And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He staggered not at the promise of Yahweh.
Yeah, Ishmael.
Oh yeah, Ishmael, but
it was saying at that age.
Yeah.
He did. Man.
Yeah. Okay. Matter of fact, let's go to that. You're right. Let's go to. Genesis 15 and 1.
Sarah was Isaac was the only child that Sarah had.
Right.
Right.
Genesis 15 and 1.
This is Genesis 15 and 1. After these things, the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and in thy exceeding great reward. And Abram said, Lord, power, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this, what is that, Eleazar?
Yeah.
Of Damascus.
This is keep going.
And Abram said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir.
Keep going.
And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, This shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now toward heaven until the stars of thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, So shall thy seed be.
Right. Keep going.
And he believed in the Lord Yahweh Shai, and he counted it to him for righteousness.
So he had Ishmael, but the promise didn't go to Ishmael. It went to Isaac. And he had faith at that old age that he's going to bring an heir unto his house through Sarah and her old age. And when it was told him that of the Lord, he had to believe in faith, man. So he was old. He was old. So what happened? He believed in faith, and that faith counted him worthy of the promise, man. Through faith. All right.
Hey, Con, too. What it said? He had one son at 1st. Then he was promised like it was a song. Church Father Abraham had many sons. You know. So with that being said, starting off with one child, all right, that faith small as a mustard seed, than having many, man. You know, hey, that's coming to something. Hey, you seeing it at a small point now, but as you grow and try to get into what the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has said to you and what He have established, hey, while you trying to work and get to that point, you ain't focusing on it. But as you once you get peek and take a look, then you come around. Damn. Hey man, you realize how far your faith have grown, or you went from one to many. You started off with one child, let's say you went to 10. You know, hey, you seeing how that mustard seed has grown, man, from a small mustard seed to a bigger mustard seed, man.
Right.
You know, in the same way, even to today, man. All right, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua gave us that gift of faith. All right, you know, as one of the brothers said earlier, we didn't think we was gonna go into slavery, man. You know, hey, but we see the fact that now. Hey, shit, a lot of our people can't see the point that we're going to be into the kingdom, man. Right. We're going to have all the other nations subject us under our rule. They don't see that, man. But the fact of the matter is working to it and seeing that work coming into fruition while you're working, man.
Right.
You know, that faith growing.
Right. That's going to increase us in faith. All right. Somebody get let's get Hebrews 11 and 1.
Yeah, imagine when Yahweh has Yahushua's army all together. And we all stand together one day.
Right. That's what I'm waiting on.
Me too.
Hebrews 11 and 1. Now faith is the substance.
That army. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now the faith is the substance of things hoped for, and evidence of things not seen.
All right, now hopes is the substance of things hoped for. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things not seen, man. What do we hope for? Salvation, man. All right? The evidence of things not seen, the evidence is us standing up here in boldness, man. We came from that right there. Lift that up real quick. We came from this to this. You know what I'm saying? That's the evidence of things not seen, man. We would have never thought we would come from this to be standing up here right now and ruling. We're ruling according to the Spirit, just like how Yahweh Shai is ruling in the heavens. We're part of that rulership. It just hasn't been set up on earth yet, but we have faith to know that the Lord's going to set it up on earth, man. You know? Keep going. Let's read some more of that. Oh, okay. Don't use the point.
11 verse 4. Go to verse 2.
Yeah, keep going.
For by it the elders obtain a good report.
Right. This, from the beginning all the way to the point we have now, everything was done according to faith, man. Go ahead.
Through faith, we understand that the world was framed by the words of Yahweh, so that things which are seen were not made of things which are done, none appear.
So what is it? What is faith if you can see it? What is faith if it's standing right there for a while? I got faith that's brother standing, yeah, because he's there. But I got faith that Yahushua standing right next to him. You can't see him, but I know he's there. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 24. It says, for we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope.
Right.
For what man seeth, why do he yet hope for?
Right. Why, if he see it, why are you gonna hope for it when it's right there? There's no hope in that, but we got hope that and faith that the things that we're speaking right now is gonna be manifested on the whole earth through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. Continue.
9%. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
8. Verse 25. It says, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
With patience, wait for it. Boy, faith is gonna teach you patience, man. It's gonna teach you patience because guess what? You got people that have that microwave syndrome that want it to happen right now. That was it? All right. Go ahead.
If I may add on, you know, like off the movie Kingsman, man, the way faith works is like the first Kingsman, right? When he gave the dude Exit the little Kingsman necklace when he was young. Hey, when you ever in time of trouble, hey, use this precious button, I'll be there. That's how faith is, man. Hey, faith is a gift, all right? It's only given to the men out of the world, which was chosen by the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which was given to him from Yahweh, man. You know, so faith is a gift, all right? So by him giving us that small gift of faith, all right, by us trusting in him and seeing these things come to pass, like the bishop said, hey, faith and patience go hand in hand, man. So as we constantly waiting for these prophecies to come to pass, all right, the things that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has established, all right, that's going to grow our faith too as well, man. You know, so that's that emergency ticket that the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has given us, all right, through faith.
Man, and we learn faith at an early age, but not understanding what it is, man. We learn faith as children. Like I took my children to the park the other day, and I put my daughter down, and she was just running through the park without a care in the world, climbing on stuff, falling all over everything. She has no choice but to have faith that I'm going to make her life as easy as I can make it. You know what I'm saying? And she's able to run freely and not worry about nothing. Worry about nothing. And I looked at that, and I'm like, yo, that's exactly how we're supposed to live on this earth, man. That's exactly how she goes to sleep at night, having faith that she's going to see my face tomorrow. And having faith that I'm going to protect her from everything. You know, and I have faith that the Lord is going to give me strength to protect her from all that, right? Or if I leave this earth, he's going to put somebody in my stead to protect her. Or he's going to protect her himself, all of my children. That's a level of faith that we're supposed to have. So we learned that as a child, but don't even understand that we have it as a child. But as we grow into society, right, that faith is taken away because we got to start paying bills. We start worrying about stuff that doesn't even matter.
The nurturing, but more like the nurturing part of faith, and then you have like the discipline part of faith too,
right?
As far as like the chastisements,
right?
All right, the turmoil the Lord puts you in, you know, to build you up ultimately. That He always pull you out of, like a righteous man falls 6 times and he get up 7. So you got the nurturing type of faith, and then you have that faith as far as discipline too, you know.
And we learned that as a child also when our parents discipline us. Right, we have to have an understanding that discipline comes for as correction, as to lead us on the righteous path. And as us being men of the Lord with children, that we instill that into our children. You have some more you want to say?
You spell the rod, you spoil the child.
Right, right. Close it up. All right, go ahead.
Well, this is Romans chapter 8.